action with his gestures later on, so that's worth remembering. High breathing, yes, and lots of big out breath, which suggests to me he's going to run out of oxygen very, very soon. He's trying to deal with the carbon dioxide that's building up from that fight and flight, doing big out breaths, but no big in breaths at the belly, so he's going to run out of oxygen at some point. So at the moment, there's conflict, he's asymmetrical, his gestures are soft and flaccid, which means lacking in energy. So is this deceit? Well, it's probably more likely at this point. He's already straight into this situation, and he already seems to me relatively defeated by what's going on. And why wouldn't he be? It probably looked fairly bad for him out of the scene, I would imagine. And there's probably no way getting past that. And we'll see how this interrogation kind of lines up as we go along, and exactly what these people are looking for, which is not necessarily did he do it, but how many did he do, is probably the case. Greg, what are your thoughts?
Mark, I think he had an encounter with Ren 1010 on the way as well. I don't think that probably made him any more relaxed encountering a police dog.
Right. And it's that way he's got the medical, he's had some medical attention.
Not sure, but he talks about the dog in the interview, so yeah.
Okay.
It was a point of significance to him.
Did the bandage got his right on, Craig?
Maybe did the dog go for his chase? Where would the dog go for? Elbow, arm?
Anything that's close to its face.
Whatever's dangling, right?
Yeah. Greg said it was his right arm.
I did. It's his right arm. Let's see what that does.
Prescription medications?
Well, I'm just kind of got thrown into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of the details so we know and understand what you went through and stuff.
Okay, kind of the very start. Okay, that was like 2 months ago.
Okay.
That's when we first started talking.
So when you say we, who are you talking about?
Me and my other brother was also.
Your brother?
Yeah, he was yesterday.
And what's his name? Robert? Okay, and how old is he?
18.
Okay, alright, go ahead, sorry.
A couple months ago, this guy we started talking about brutal and rage and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, legal.
Does he have a job?
He did, and my detective quit, so there you go. And basically, it just kept escalating, kept being ruined, and he asked if I wanted to do me, and I said yes, so he got me my own set.
Okay.
And then, about a month, like June 30th, is when he came to me and said, found out that he can legally buy guns without permit in Oklahoma, he could.
Okay.
And that's when he started planning, and
So let's go back real quick. We talked about ammunition being delivered, making plans. Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
making plans, we plotted every night, and I started realizing we were actually going to do this on the second night. So I started getting ready.
When was that? You said second night, what do you know?
July 1st,
Okay.
because we started June 30th.
That's when you started making the plan?
Yeah, that's when we finally make it back on sleep.
I see. Did you guys make drawings or write things down?
I
Or
think he had a journal, the basic things that he was down, I think it's in his bed.
understood? Is it like a journal, like a notepad? Or
Yeah,
a book?
it's like a blank book.
Okay.
But I think it's like a little case.
So you think he wrote stuff in there?
Yeah, I think he's finding that.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen. What made you realize that?
How serious he was. I mean, he was going through, he started planning on taking all his money out of his bank and throwing away all this stuff, so you know.
Why did he want to do it? Yeah.
Well, mainly two reasons I think is, because he just, like, said that he hates everyone he thinks society's pointless, so people, and also he wanted to, like, kill, like, to other things. People like Columbine and Jesse Guns.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too, like when you guys were talking earlier, like,
Yeah.
Like, do you have problems in society too, do you think?
Not just.
Or you just more like the number of people getting killed is kind of interesting and exciting? Okay. So, could you mention a couple names? Are those like serial killers or something?
Well, like Columbine.
Yeah.
Columbine, Jesse Guns is a guy who shot the theater
In Colorado?
Yeah, he killed 12 victims.
Wow. How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine, like 15.
Okay.
I think.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So you'll see him picking at this bandage that's around his arm. That stuff is called Coflex. That's pretty normal for people to do. He may have gotten his blood drawn on the way in to see if he was under the influence. That looks like what that is. It's not really, it doesn't look like enough to be a bandage. I don't know. But it's suggesting, very gently suggesting the older brother is the mastermind here. The detective is helping him to do that. And he refers to the other murderers as famous. He doesn't call them famous murderers or anything else, just famous. They're famous people, which is super weird. And they were made famous by the society that he just said is useless. So there's a bit of irony here, which I hope Mark will talk about. Because Mark, when he talks about irony, there's Disney movies coming in, there's The Hobbit. You never know. You never know what you're going to hear.
I'll do my best.
So this is one of the best interrogators I've seen in a very long time. I don't say this based on the person, the suspect, but his composure and the way that he's so brilliant on the basics. He's brilliant at the basics of interrogation. And if you're watching this, we'd love to have you on the show with us to chat about this if you'd like. We're seeing pretty open behavior, and we're seeing him grab onto suggestions that the interrogator is putting forth to subtly suggest this was wholly somebody else's idea and somebody else's planning. Listen to the softening words the interrogator is using, like maybe and kind of, sort of, just. All of those are softening words to help him bite down on this idea. Scott, what do you got?
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. And I thought it was more of a band situation because you get your blood drawn in a little thing thinner than that. It's like get mine done. It's like a little thin thing.
At a lab, they use thin ones, but hospitals carry the thicker Coflex.
Oh, okay.
A lot more.
Okay. I don't know. All right. Well, kid adapts as the interrogator adapts. And the kid's already following him. He's following the interrogator. When he moves, the kid moves. He does those things. And that's the very first thing we see coming into this one. And you don't have to keep in mind when you're mirroring somebody, matching someone, you don't have to do the exact same thing. You'll notice that a lot because when the kid gets stressed, sometimes he'll squeeze his hand real big, and the guy will go to his face where he'll run right here to show the kid he's stressed, to put that in his head, because he's trying to make him feel like he feels like the kid feels. And that's really important here. He's trying to get it to open up, and we're going to see that work very well here. I think this is a textbook example, actually, of matching and mirroring. They both got their arm on the table when the kid puts his on, or the cop puts his on, the detective puts his on, and their arms crossed in front of them. Beautiful execution on all that. Then after this, he'll move to mirroring his breathing, because the kid's breathing gets a little bit odd in there, and you watch the detective, his does too. When the kid's size are big, he'll sigh too. And then put his hand to his face and do that. He's showing that he feels the same stress he's showing that he's feeling. Now, this may not seem important, but he's executing perfectly one of the most potent tools you can possibly do. Mark talks about the breathing and matching the breathing as well all the time. Because that will, when someone is in the hospital, the doctor will try to calm them down. The doctor will start, the guys know about it, or women know about it, they'll start breathing at the same rate the patient's breathing. And that helps you calm down. I don't know why that is, but that's what happens. But the things this guy's doing, he's talking to him, trying to act like those things. I've done this before with a kid I was talking to. And this works because I think this kid may not have had a father figure that was cool with him and nice to him. So he needs that. So he needs an older person to tell him that he's, talking to him in the fashion he is. I'll get into the details later on as we go through this. The kid starts scratching his eye, and rubs his eye, and the detective does the same thing. It's not the exact same thing, but he gets really close and does it. So that's really important. And you start hearing that rhythm as they talk back and forth. It's really easy to talk to someone, and you'll talk for a minute, and then there'll be that little pause, and then they'll say something, and you'll talk right back. He's waiting to get that rhythm going, so it's almost like a ping pong thing going back and forth. So he's matching him with his vernacular, his words, his tone, his cadence, and he's mirroring his body language, he's mirroring his breathing, and he's got that ping pong with the conversation going back and forth. It's really, he may not know he's doing this. That's the thing about it. He may be so good, he may not realize that's what he's doing, but he's connected with that kid. And that's why we hear this, the kids start talking and talking. Mark, what do you got?
Yes, talking of my cultures, Greg, there are times when I just can't work out what the subject is saying. I don't understand my culture, but I did pick up this thing. It's like a blank book, and he then becomes very energized in symmetry with his gestures, and he also illustrates that book. He shows us the book, essentially. And I think he tells us it's under the bed. I could be wrong, because I find it sometimes very hard to work out what he's saying. But it's interesting because suddenly his gestures stop being flaccid. They start to become energized. They go into symmetry. He illustrates or kind of mimes for us perfectly with this book. So very probably the book exists. Very probably it is under the bed, and very probably even if the book doesn't exist, he wants us to think and know that the book exists. Because I think he wants to suggest there is some evidence out there that says he's not fully involved and somebody else is absolutely and most fully involved in this, and he's seen an opportunity to really put that across and illustrate that. So that for me is a massive difference from how he started out, which was asymmetrical and these kind of floppy gestures. This defeat suddenly becomes something more of a celebration. Now, it's interesting that he talks about essentially the interviewer here, for me, feeds him the idea of that it's not about society, it's about numbers. Now, I don't know whether there's been some conversation beforehand or some information around that this isn't about a social grudge of any sort. But the interviewer seems to be putting this, feed the idea to him. It's not about society, it's about the numbers. It's interesting that the grudge against society would be more kind of tropic of sociopathic or even psychopathic. You imagine those extreme, cartoon versions of the psychopath. They've got some, massive crazy grudge against society. At the moment, everybody's trying to move away from that and go, it's just kind of a numbers game. You just want to get either status around that, or, you like counting numbers, you like collecting things. Interesting idea. Let's see where that goes into. Chase, what do you got on this one?
Did I go?
Oh, maybe you did. Scott? No, Greg.
Mark, I'm going to go to the very last thing I have here first, and then go backward, because you said something that is key. Many years ago, when I was dealing with people in interrogating, I remember one of the most interesting things I ever learned. A guy actually saying, well, if I killed a bunch of people and did something in terrorist activity, people will remember my name. If I just work the rest of my life, they won't. That's a different mindset and a different way of being. Killing 50 people put you at the beginning. And you have to be able to get into that psyche to be able to talk to that guy. Now let's back up a minute. Because I look at I have a blank stare, people probably think I'm an aggressive all-the-time interrogator. Not true at all. Actually, I'm the other way. I believe you have to get the person calmed down enough to be able to build rapport so that you can actually do what we do. The skill set of terrifying somebody is the captor's job, not mine. My job is to do something else. Now, if I'm captured, different story. I've captured a lot of people in my life over doing things, both in real work and in training. And the training, trust me, you wouldn't think it was training the way it's carried out. So I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people react. One of the things we know is that when a person's brain is consumed by terror and fear, number one, they can't remember. Number two, they're going to say whatever you want to hear. And number three, nothing is reliable. So it's a waste of time at that moment. The other interesting thing is the human brain prioritizes input and stimulus when it's in terror. One of the best things we know is this kid is not in terror now. This guy has managed through what he's done to calm him just a bit so he can start building rapport. And I know that he's playing with that bandage. He wouldn't notice that bandage on his arm if he were in sheer terror because it's not a threat. And then, a great example, one of the things you captured, often people don't realize their bladder is full until 15 minutes after they're captured and then they start begging for the bathroom. You know their fight or flight is starting to tone down. You can go over and talk to them. And you can start to get some control. You're also giving them relief. So there's a lot of things that go into play here. Watch this kid. This guy's been so good that this kid becomes non-confrontational and non-judgmental. He can see non-judgmental, so he opens up. Look at his body language, Mark. Exactly what you said. He asks him a question about a book. He accesses over, hey, you remember this book? Then he starts defining the book with his hands. And I think this kid is opening up because he thinks now, he doesn't yet feel any connection to this guy, so he feels like he's embarrassed to tell him what he did. That's a beautiful place to be. Once you get to a point where the person's embarrassed, now you lose some of the ability to get information out of him. He's not there yet. He still feels like it's okay to talk this way. We'll watch that change through these videos. When he's doing this, it's likely his first idea of awareness of what's going on, and he's comforting himself. We all said that. And I agree with you, Chase, it could be COVID over a piece of gauze. It could be, because it's great, who knows, but I do agree with you, it's some Cobain stuff. He does stuff again. So he's emphasizing stuff when he says something, which probably means that means something to him. We gave our stuff away, so the game's over, we're done. He does some emotional accessing and touches his face. Now this interrogation thing, as you start paying attention, you got to see what a good interrogator does. He's trying to disarm the guy, bring him down to a comfort level, create enough rapport, the guy feels safe talking to him, and just wait and watch what he does to him later. This is the easy part. Wait for him to come in, but knowing when and how to talk to the kid, so the kid starts to feel you, and you can say, hey, man, I get it. It's better to do this than sit in your house and nobody knows who you are. And you can see he's not judging. He's doing all that other stuff that you guys are talking about. Agree with you guys 100%. And the last thing you see is this kid. I work with New Yorkers all the time, and New Yorkers will have a tendency to talk at the same time. Pretty common. This kid's doing that with nonverbals. He's going and confirming the guy's question before the guy finishes. Chase, exactly to your point, he's being trained how to respond, and he's doing it quickly.
So let's go back real quick. We talked about the ammunition being delivered, making plans. Tell me more about making plans, what you guys talked about.
Making plans was we all plotted every night, and then I started realizing we're actually going to do this on the second night. So I started getting ready.
When was that? You just second night?
July 1st.
Okay.
Good research.
That's when you started making the plan?
Yeah, that's when we found plans.
I see. Did you guys draw and write things down?
I think I journal. The biggest areas I think it took to say.
Is it like a journal, like a notepad?
Yeah, it's like one book.
Okay.
I think it's like a little piece.
So you think you wrote something there?
It's just something in it.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen. What made you realize that?
How's that was, I mean, it was just one of you started planning to take off his money out to the bank and throwing away his stuff, throwing away all his stuff. So,
Why did he want to do it?
Yeah. Well, mainly 2 reasons I think is because he just like said he hates everyone in society's points. So people, and also he wanted to like beat kill, like amount to other things. People like Columbine and to just beacons.
Okay. Did you kind of feel that way too, like when you guys were talking earlier, like?
Yeah.
Like, do you have problems in society too, do you think?
Not just.
Or were you just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting? Okay. So, because you mentioned a couple names, are those like serial killers or something?
Well, like Columbine?
Yeah.
Columbine, Chasing Homes is a guy who just shot the theater
in Colorado?
Yeah, he killed 12 and
How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine, 15.
Okay. Okay. So then kind of what happened is, I mean, you guys started getting all that stuff together and throwing things away.
Yeah, and we knew that that whole packages and whole suits and how it was going to get from us on. And so we set a date.
So was the plan, to euthanize first, like the family? Because the guys weren't going to be here until later on.
Yeah, and they're going to be too loud.
Oh, I see.
So, going to use that to defend, which obviously did not require it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I just sort of like, so it's like, we didn't go over.
Yeah. So then you picked a date, you said?
Yeah, just yesterday, just a date.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yeah, and then I was just in bed, just
So how did you guys know? You just came and got you, got him, or did you go see?
we were hanging out at the movie.
Okay. And so,
How did you pick the date?
We all together with the packages that we have, because he all the ammunition, he didn't want to see that, so we killed the day for the ammunition, the day after the movie.
do you guys not like to run with it? I mean, is there a day? I mean, most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, mom's a kid, but that's a little bit.
Just a little bit too much. So, you guys went in the room, and was it right at midnight, and that's when they started?
My sister, she came in because she came to the she came to tell us.
How was it?
She came in to tell us that they wanted to see the kitchen shut off and went to bed for the gas up. And it's basically the book was playing I got to my desk. And this, like, I had to look something into this guy as well.
All right, Rick, what do you got?
Yeah, here's another bad exhale when he says, set a date. He's very emphatic about it. I think this is part of their whole plan. But he's assuming he's talking about people. There's no emotion at all, no emotional accessing, nothing. I don't think we're seeing any feeling for these people. He shows stress, all that eye rubbing. There doesn't appear to be any remorse, sadness, or anything about how he's proceeding in this room yet. We'll see that change, but right now, he's just talking like this is a video game. His chin's down, he's got restricted breathing, and then you start to see how square the ribcage turns into as he starts to feel some kind of remorse in there. And when they ask, probably the best single piece of evidence now that I see in this entire thing is they ask a question about parents. There is this absolute contempt in this kid's face when he's talking about parents. And then the only, in my opinion, emotional accessing we really see is when he's talking about his perception of them. And he also says something about his sister, and she came in to tell us. That's another aggressive thing pushed out of his mouth with a lot of strength. When I say a source lead, and you're talking to a criminal or prisoner, an intel source, and they bring up something with a lot of emphatic behavior, we call that a source lead because we know that needs to be exploited. And there are two kinds, hot and cold. A hot means I go at it right now. A cold means I put it off and bring it back up later. I would call that one a hot lead. I would ask a question, but he's good at actually not angering this guy. And I think either way it would have worked. This kid is starting to bond to him, and that's an important part. Chase, what you got?
Yeah, so the behavior we're seeing throughout this is pretty abnormal. And from what I've been able to learn, they dealt with extreme isolation and potentially some abuse. They were kept inside. They lacked a lot of social skills and social connections with people in the real world. And at this age, boys are struggling hard with identity and impulsivity, and they have testosterone levels that are just through the roof. And we could also be seeing what he sees as an authority in his older brother. This is likely a factor no matter what else we see. And being psychologically vulnerable at that age, with that state like that, and not being connected which could come from any number of disorders, abuse, neglect, and even genetic factors. It does one major, huge thing to kids at this age. It makes them seek extreme solutions to simple problems. And this causes a lack of empathy and understanding that makes doing the crime like this a lot easier. I'm not going to comment on the clip here. I heard some negative stuff being discussed in it while we were watching this morning, so I didn't do that. But I will say, I'm not really sure why people get so obsessed with our culture, anyway, is obsessed with the checklist and diagnoses. And if we're witnessing psychopathic behavior, we can call it psychopathic behavior because it is psychopathic behavior. There's a weird trend in our culture where we need to find labels and checklists as if all of us fit in some kind of Excel spreadsheet somewhere. People are all different. And I think it's a critical oversight that really undermines our understanding of psychopathy, and it favors this simplistic, flawed labeling system that gives us a placebo of feeling like we understand something about the messy truth of just human life in general. The psychopath checklist is a model, and as Mark says, all the time, all models are useful, or all models are wrong. Some models are useful. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Greg, to your stuff. Yes, you're absolutely right. We then get data, and we also get planned, and us. And so, it's interesting how we're getting a lot of stress there around some of these mundane things of what and where and when. We are getting some people, but the people tend to be us. And so things, events, not so much people and feelings. And so we could put that on a continuous spectrum of neurotype and behaviour, along with actually those phonic stresses that we're getting. Not that I've seen a study on this, but there's a data point of I'd say 5 on my part, seeing in a certain neurotype that's stressing on certain phonemes where usually you wouldn't get those stresses there. So that's just of interest to me. I'm making absolutely no diagnosis or prediction around that. Just the way I went, had that stress somewhere before. Anyway, interesting you say, Chase. It's messy, it's muddy, it's real life. It's not film or TV, which isn't messy or muddy. The great thing about film and TV is it's not a crossword puzzle. You should be able to get it right. You sit down and you watch it, you get fed it, and you go, I see what's happening here. I even dislike those kind of whodunit things, because I'm like, just tell me who did it. And let's get on with it.
That's why Columbo's so good. They give it to you in the front and then work back.
Right. Which is so different from real life, where you don't know up front and you don't know during it, and you often get right to the end of it, real life, and you're like, what happened there? I have zero idea what went on. What went on there? And I think, as I said before, when confronted with this not knowing, you're either happy with that, or you get really angry and upset that you don't know, or you make up a whole bunch of stories. And I think, some of these models, Chase, are great stories for people to jump on top of and go, well, okay, let's put them in this box, this story of sociopath or psychopath or this or that, or whatever you want to bundle people into. Look, nothing wrong with that, just as long as you go, okay, it's possible, it's probable. Anyway,
that's just a simple checklist for a monster. That's just what
yeah. I agree with you. And the thing is, like you're saying, Chase, they'll see this guy and think automatically around the day, how could you do that if you weren't a psychopath? That's the thing. It sometimes takes a year to diagnose somebody being a true psychopath, a clinical psychopath. So you can't just call it out. Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, because it's on the last nerve.
Right.
No.
He's a killer. Doesn't matter what brain killer. He killed his family.
Yeah. And speaking of Columbo, the other day when I was coming back when we were coming back from Dallas, right? And I told Greg this already. So anyway, this woman sat next to me. She's from Phoenix, Denise. Denise and I were watching because we talked about this. Denise and I talked for a while, and I really wanted to watch Columbo, right? Because I downloaded that from that channel, Watch It for Days. It's all these Columbo episodes, and this girl goes through, she tells you who all the actors are, what was going on in Peter Falk's life at the time. It's fantastic. I watch all of them. So I finally got to where I could disengage from the conversation. I had my iPad up, got it out. And so I saw them moving over here with her. We're getting really close, it's getting really bumpy. And it wasn't the roughest I've been. We've all been on those planes that everybody else gets horrified, we don't. And they're like, why aren't you scared? Like, is this thing going to crash? The odds are in our favor. So anyway, I'm sure they said, when I saw everybody putting their things up, so I always put my iPad down and I put it down near my lap and I flip it back up so I can watch it. I can continue watching whatever I'm watching. I'm that guy. So we land, right? And I'm sitting there watching Columbo. As we land, I catch out of the corner of my eye, she's still moving around a lot. And she starts doing this Catholic lacrosse thing, right? And then I'm like, so I take off my headphones. I'm like, darling, what's going on? What's happening? She goes, the engine. I was glad the engine worked. And I'm like, why would the engine work? Obviously, these planes are great. They're built to take off, land, go through that stuff, storm. She said, did you not hear what the pilot said? I said, what are you talking about? She said, you didn't hear that. I said, no, I didn't hear it. What are you saying? She said, our engine wasn't working. We had one coming in. I said, what are you talking about? I looked around, everybody else was like crying, holding things, talking and praying and all kinds of stuff. I looked out the window and the ambulances, the fire trucks, all that stuff's out there. We're just sitting there waiting.
So can I ask, Boeing or Airbus?
No, it was Airbus.
So you know why that happens, Scott? Because you're talking smack about helicopters just before that.
Yeah, that's right. That could have been. But I went to that whole at the luggage thing, people were hugging, they made friends for life and all that, So I missed the whole thing watching Columbo.
Chase, it's not you and I are saying that Boeing have bad aircraft. I mean, I just know, that's why I would just like to say that I think Boeing have very good aircraft, and I'm always very happy to I've got my Don't Shoot Me Boeing card as well, so I'm okay. Just so everybody knows, I'm okay.
We should do that video of the guy
who gets shot.
The guy who...
Yes. Yes. That's interesting. Yeah, so we can back up that it was nothing to do with Boeing.
There you go. We'll put that one up. We'll get a video this week.
We're involved in any way.
Okay. So then kind of what happens is when you guys start getting all that stuff together and throwing things away.
Yeah, and we look at that whole packages and whole suits and how it runs, all this stuff. So we get from this on. And so we set a date.
So this is the plan. To euthanize first on the family, because that's what we're going to be here till later on.
Yeah, they never took too far.
Oh, I see.
So, going to use action to him, which obviously did not get inspired.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's so inspiring. Like, we didn't go over.
Yeah. So then you pick a day. You said.
Yeah, just yesterday. Just yesterday.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yeah, and then I was just in bed.
So after you guys you came in after you got in, or did you
were hanging out that day.
Okay. And so
How did you pick a day?
We all did on the packages that we have, because you all the animation, he didn't want to see that, so we go the day for the animation, the day after.
do you guys not like to go on that? I mean, is there, what are they? I mean, I'm most teenagers don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, mom's okay, that's a little bit.
Just a little bit too much. So, you guys went in the room, and was it right at midnight, and that's when it started?
Right at midnight, my sister, she came in because she was going to make the registration and tell us.
How was it?
13.
Okay.
She came in to tell us that everyone wanted to see the kitchen done, everyone went to bed, everyone can't stop. And basically, the book plan that I got to my desk, and this, like, casual look at something to this guy to go to slip through. I really just take it along.
Okay.
So I did. And then
Where's the pad for your alarm?
it's not
It's what?
it's kind of different. Yeah, so I disabled it also.
Has she already gone outside?
She went outside and texted her.
So where was she?
She was planning to go away, to go back. That day she wanted to go. I'm sorry she didn't go.
That's the only finish.
Yeah, that's the little bitch. And she finished went back inside to go to the little kids.
Did you bring her in or did she stay?
She stayed at home until TV and I don't want that to go inside. That's why she's been gone. And the next way.
So she's over back.
Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah, she's still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down. Because his sister steps. And he went back and looked at him what was that's what you call it. They started having they got a little bit of a fight. And then eventually, well, I think he killed it.
Did you cut us to her too? Where did that happen? In your room? And where were you?
I was standing in the hallway.
Okay. So did you see him cut your guys through? Did he stab him other places too?
I don't know, I think he just kind of feel.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, look, very simply, I find him casual and nonchalant in his behaviour around the killings, yet at the same time, there's a lot of asymmetry, there's a lot of eye blocks, the lines of energy are broken, it's kind of, there's a sense of defeat, his breathing is high, there's some closure that happens around the mouth over areas. So my guess would be at this point that he isn't happy about being in this interview, and that seems to fit. Why would anybody be overjoyed and confident about being in this interview situation? Yet at the same time, there isn't so much level of stress around the killings, casual, nonchalant. I find that, an interesting juxtaposition. Though, at the same time, not odd that it's a little bit messy around somebody who's clearly got so messy around a bunch of people. We couldn't expect, should we expect anything kind of deducible by this ordinary around any of this? It would be interesting, wouldn't it, if you had somebody who can go out to kill this many people. And we're like, that's very ordinary behaviour. That's very, of course, that's just what we do every day. Yeah, we should be seeing something which is probably difficult to explain, a little bit more than a little bit muddy and a little bit odd. Seems muddy and odd to me, but why not? Chase, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I agree. But let's talk about why you're seeing him act so calmly during this interview with the officer here. There's a few reasons that this could be happening. And I won't pretend that I know which ones are true and which are not. If this is psychopathy, forget about the checklist. But we are seeing somebody who has a total absence of guilt and remorse. Second, if the shooting was planned for months or weeks, this experience of being arrested and interrogated was expected, planned on, and anticipated. So there's no fear because the future is certain. Fear comes from uncertain future. If you think about that, that's what happens there. And he's not trying to deceive anybody necessarily. He may be trying to minimize a bunch of stuff. He's not making up a ton of lies and fabricating an entire event. The third reason could be shock and dissociation. It could be going on. It's a psychological defense mechanism that helps people cope with some seriously overwhelming emotions just by detaching or unplugging us from reality. So dissociation manifests as outward calmness, even if the person is experiencing lots of internal stuff going on. That's all I got there.
Yeah,
Ray, what do you
yeah.
got?
Yeah, great. I love both what you said. I agree 100%. And what we're seeing here, in my opinion, is yes, you can dissociate from the actual killing and all that because you prepared for it and you know you got a box in your head for it. What he's having a hard time, Mark, what I think you're seeing is he's having a difficult time with the other part. Now he's starting to bond with this guy, and he doesn't want to disappoint this guy. This guy may be a father figure, who knows? I can't speak to that part, but you can see in many interrogations where a person's done something, and they'll tell you they've done it. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, they don't feel guilty about what they've done, but they don't want you to disappoint them. They don't want your judgment. And this guy's not been judgmental down there, maybe part of that occurring. So that for me is really interesting because it means the bonding is taking place very effectively. And I think Scott, you said earlier, all that matching mirroring has been powerful. And the kid is not being judged. And if he feels like he's not being judged, but there's potential to be judged, then that creates a kind of fear that will show itself here. So, for example, all this incongruent movement and all that Mark, that he's showing, I think that's what it's about. I don't think it's the other way. I think he doesn't care about what he's already done. And Chase, your point, dissociation would give you the ability to compartmentalize that. But this stuff you can't. We see it. Well, he's got no emotion at all. You see that respiration increase. Like you would expect that talking about killing your mother would do that, not the other way. And listen to him when he says about the mother. Yeah, she was injured way. Almost like saying, I left my bike and dragged from school. That casually. But he's certainly feeling some anxiety about something. Scott,
What I was referring to is the dissociation from trauma and dissociation being a trauma response.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. That dissociation is related to the actual act. But that doesn't protect him from this, from being afraid to let somebody. So I agree 100%. I think he probably was ready for that. And the dissociation compartmentalized and pushed that way. But he's not ready to disappoint this guy who's just been friendly to him.
That just means that there's a potential for him to be in a dissociative state at present.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Sorry, got it.
Right. So I'll replay this and go back and you subscribe. Watch their hands and mouths. They do the exact same thing, almost perfectly. They're measuring each other perfectly. They're both throwing their fingers at the same time, all that. Listen for that rhythm again with the conversation going back and forth. You're seeing two people locked in. You're seeing this interrogator is locked into this kid, and it's beautiful. I know I'm leaning hard on that, but it's fantastic what he's done here. It's so hard to do and do it well because you can't do it with everybody. This kid's not trying to come back. He's not trying to do anything. He's just picking up information everywhere, and that's why. Because once you're in it, you feel like you're building this relationship with this person. That's what I feel like you're becoming friends with them. So you've got to trust them. You've got to tell them things. That's what he's done. That's what's going on here. So this kid's feeling like he's building a relationship. And going back to what you were saying, Greg, and I'll talk about it a little bit later on, he may not have had a figure like that in his life he could bond with. Like you were saying earlier, Chase, as well, about someone being older and trying to connect with that person and trying to make them proud of you or happy for you or be happy with them. So he's identifying with them, and that's just one of the reasons, like I said earlier, he's just keeping all this information because he doesn't feel the need to push back on it. Yeah, I think he feels okay about it. But on the other hand, I think from an emotional standpoint, I don't think he has anything in there to feel bad about or feel, I don't think he feels bad. I don't think he's a psychopath. But I don't think he's emotionally, I don't think he's coming across or giving up any emotions in this. But I do think he's trying to connect with this guy, and that's why they're connecting so hard.
I went to 64 home.
Okay.
That's what I did. And then
Where's the pad or lawnmower?
it's not effective.
It's what?
It's not effective. Yeah. So I went to 64 home. So yeah.
But has she already gone outside?
She was outside and went to after.
So where was she?
She was planning to go back. The issues she got go. She go. Yeah, so there's anything that she went back inside to go to
Did you bring her in or did she stay?
She stayed down until the end and ran out to go to the side, so she's been
So she's Rebecca.
Yeah, she's still alive. Yeah, she's still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down. Because he said some steps. And then he went back to his like, what was that you call it? Like, they started attacking him. They got a little bit of a fight. And then they eventually, well, come down. I think he killed him.
Did he cut his guard too? Where did that happen? In your room? And where were you?
I was standing in the hallway.
Okay. So did you see any guys out of the room? Did he stab any other places too?
I don't know, I think he just trying to feel.
You know, you guys had all these detailed plans, you had all the cool stuff to get happen. And it kind of started falling apart, and we said, like, it didn't go as planned. I mean, did you kind of just freak out a little bit, like,
Yeah,
it's really happening?
I did feel resourceful, like.
Yeah, don't. But here's what's me is like, it's crazy because you guys work together and make all these plans, and, you know, have it all figured out, and then when it happens, you're just kind of standing there doing anything. And did you just decide, like, Robert's gonna kill everybody, and I'm gonna sit here and do nothing, so I better, I mean, did you choose that?
I think that bit of my nerves. I didn't kill him, I agreed to it, so I was gonna let him, like, kill everyone.
Yeah, you should have something like that. I mean,
I understand.
well, what I'm saying is this Robert's the one that should get credit here, I mean,
Yeah,
that's a big deal. I mean, you're gonna be on the news. You know what I mean?
People are gonna want to interview you.
Well, I'm just thinking, because you're saying you have plans, like, you're supposed to kill this person, he's supposed to kill this person. Were you supposed to kill Chris? Was he your responsibility?
No,
You just worked out that way? But he had already basically done that. So now you're left standing there. So were you trying to kill Chris when you stabbed him in the neck? We're just gonna...
I mean, I've got this system, but I think I might have been shoulder. That's also
So, originally, your responsibility was Victoria and Dad.
Did you guys talk specific, because you said crossbow, so you said, I mean, you guys had a plan like, this is what
Yeah, specific. I think God is planning to move something that way.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a lot quicker and quieter, I guess.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, well, what I love about this is, as well as the male interviewer is doing here, I think he runs out of runway a little bit, and you see him turn to the female interviewer, and he has that look of, can you go now? You take over now.
Yeah.
She comes in with a question. He then gives him enough time just to regroup himself, and he's back with an idea, or maybe just a little more confidence around the idea that he has. So, I mean, look, even when you've got somebody who looks to be doing so well, I mean, he's so casual with him, he's so kind of calm, so engaged, so interested, curious about this, but you see him run out after a while. Great that he's got somewhere with him. Easy handover, takes back over. But it's lovely to see that. Great. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, this is really good because we do see him close up, but we see him close up at a certain time. And you chase, we get know whether it's cold or not in the room, and his hands are trapped, which usually you don't do if you're feeling really, really threatened. But I do think he's burying. And the reason I think he's burying is because we see his shoulders rising and tight as he goes into this whole conversation. When he first starts with this accusation, he had all school stuff and plans and he's seen process. I think he's uncertain where it's going. I think he's okay with it. Because the detective then does something very simple. He says, did you kind of freak out? You see kids proud, like, yeah, I kind of freaked out, raised in recognition, and a quick nod to agreement. This detective's done a great job getting real estate in this kid's head, and even does up-talk, kind of a positive thing. Oh, no, you don't. That's usually not how it goes. So he's reinforcing that relationship and not condemning. That's a powerful tool when you're trying to get people to talk. But as he started saying something about that was my plan, I didn't want to do it, now he's trying to start shuffling and to protect himself from what's eventually going to get him locked up forever. And his brother, both going against each other, I believe, if I recall correctly. And this cop's gotten to a point of trust where he thinks that this cop believes what he's saying, so he's going to tell him whatever he thinks the cop will listen to. And there's some emotional accessing and exasperation. I'm going to just jump over a couple of these things. That shallow breathing and narrowing the shoulders is the only reason I think this is getting. You see your shoulders get tighter, higher and higher. It's how turning occurs, but in this case, I think it's just his rib cage is getting higher and higher. I think up to now, up until we get into this, he's been in this place where he has this illusion that what he's doing is kind of cool. But he's bonded with this guy now, and now if this guy doesn't think it's cool, now there's a different thing. So whatever he brought to the equation and talk about this like it was just a normal thing, is starting to fail a little bit. And we start to see breaking eye contact because I think he knows this detective isn't pleased with what he's saying, no matter how polite the detective is, and there's a chance to be judged. I think that's what we'll see. Scott, what do you got?
All right, the kid closes off here, his head turns down a little bit, he crosses his arms, looks at the floor. I'm repeating what you're talking about, Greg. But the detective is still playing this low aggression play with him. And you're right, and he's doing that because he can do that now without fear of being the kid pushing back because he's already bonded with him. And then when that woman detective starts asking questions, that helps as well because you bring that female thing into it, you deal with the kid, his testosterone responds through the roof. And so he needs that motherly figure, which I don't think the mother in his family obviously wasn't a big deal for him. He wasn't attached to her very well. So I think that light voice, and it's not an aggressive voice at all as she's talking to him. So I think that helps as well. Now, I think the detective understands that too. I think she steps on a little bit here in a few minutes, but on this one she doesn't. I think he's waiting for her to jump up with whatever question she's going to be. But let's remember, this kid is talking about killing his entire family. But he's talking. If you watch this without the sound on, I can tell you they're talking about this kid getting in trouble for stealing a bike. That's how unimportant this sound, how unstressed he is about that part of it. I think he's worried about what's going to happen to him because he doesn't know at this point. Not that he cares. He's just wondering, so he's a little bit frustrated about that. So no emotions, anything like that in there. So far from a layman's perspective, it doesn't look like what's going on. But from an interrogator's perspective, when you see what's happening, and I keep focusing on the same thing because I think he's doing such a good job of it. This guy's so good at doing this. So that's where my focus is because I'm so excited about that. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know if y'all can hear my phone going off.
No.
I had my mom on emergency bypass. She's asking if I can chat for a minute. And I had to respond to her. So, hey, Mom, I'm filming a panel right now. So when he's crossing his arms, one thing that I always look for is what I call digital flexion. So is the hand just relaxed on the arm, or are you seeing the fingers make indentions into the flesh, into the skin there? And so we're seeing a lot of tension in the hand. And his first large sign of hesitancy and stress here is the question of his intent with stabbing Christopher. He's probably trying to minimize his motive and motivation. Everything else is pretty much the same. We're seeing great interrogation. We're seeing a stressed out kid who's unusually, absurdly calm. That's all I got. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. What have I got? It's nice how the interviewer here brings the subject into present tense and present tense feeling rather than how were you feeling at that time, how are you feeling now, the interviewer asks. That'd be nice if the subject had any feelings, but he doesn't have any feelings here. He's got no feelings. Certainly, he isn't able to explain or talk about any of those feelings that he may have had at the time. Certainly not able to put them into a present tense. He just reiterates that he didn't want to do it. So he's back in motive, in actions, and will not go to feelings. Now, is that because he doesn't have feelings, or he wants to move away from feelings and into motive? Both could be a possibility. Probably both are a possibility. Why lure them, says the interviewer. No, I don't know what the subject says back. Can't tell what the subject is saying at all in that. Listened to it about 10 times, have zero idea. Try and find a transcript, couldn't find one. So I don't know what he says. So this may be more helpful for you if you know what he says. But what I see on half of what he says is lip compression, including the chin, come right in. Like what's that meme where they put, that dog doing that?
Oh yeah. I'm afraid my dog has been involved in a sex scandal.
Yeah, basically he does that gesture exactly. He looks off. There's then some asymmetry in the mouth as well, which can mean all kinds of possible things. It's not a good enough image for me to really see what's going on here. But enough asymmetry for me to go, something's going on, something's going on there, and there's a single shoulder shrug on top of that as well. I wish you knew what he was saying at that point, but I don't. So go in there, see what he's saying. And put down below what on earth he says at that point, and subscribe at the same time. That'd be fantastic.
You guys had all these detailed plans, you had all the cool stuff and get happened. And it kind of started falling apart, and you said like it didn't go as planned. I mean, did you kind of just freak out a little bit? Like, it's really happening.
I didn't know it was supposed to like.
Yeah, don't. But here's what me is like. It's crazy because you guys work together and make all these plans and have it all figured out, and then when it happens, you're just kind of standing there not doing anything. And did you just decide like Robert's gonna kill everybody and I'm gonna sit here and do nothing, so I better? I mean, did you?
Yeah, I think that bit of my honest. I didn't kill him. I couldn't do it. So I was letting him. Like kill everyone.
Yeah, you should have something like that. I mean, well, what I'm saying is it's not Robert's the one that should get credit here. That's a big deal. You're gonna be on the news. You know what I mean?
People are going to want to interview you.
Well, I'm just saying he does. Because you're saying things like, you're supposed to kill this person, he's supposed to kill this person. Were you supposed to kill Chris and he's your responsibility?
No.
You just worked out that way? But he had already basically done that.
Yeah.
So now you're left sitting there. So were you trying to kill Chris and stabbed him in the neck? We're just gonna...
I mean, I probably say that, but that might be a bit short. That's also
So, originally, your responsibility was Victoria and Dad.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk specific, because you said crossbow, so you said, I mean, you guys had a plan like this is specific.
Yeah, specific. I think God is planning to move something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a lot quicker and quieter, I guess. Did you say anything to Christopher?
I said something.
So you said, now it's several hours later, how are you feeling?
This whole thing, like feeling when you first step to get caught, I think it only lasted like 5 minutes. Yeah. But that's like, because it's 8 o'clock in the morning right now. So it's like hours ago. So how do you feel now? Just kind of, I didn't want to do that. Yeah. Just like that.
So you were saying you pleaded with, I guess when they were locked in the bathroom and what you don't do when they were locked in?
Bathroom, they were right next to it, it's that's office, standing on someone's office.
Is this one working in the bathroom and the other?
No, two of these guys got to each other, right, like this, like, this, and so I says, oh, says, they put them down.
And which were you doing?
I went to the bathroom, just, I said,
Okay. But then did Robert go?
well, and then she was eating office, was getting more stairs, I'm taking more around, he came to the bathroom, so I left.
Okay.
So, I guess where I'm confused is if you didn't want this anymore, you didn't want this to go down this way, why climb on and opening the doors and letting this continue?
I was just telling her.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So he's in fight or flight during his recall, and he's asked to process how he's feeling. His only concern, I think, here is protecting himself. The behaviors here are the same we see in all examples of fight or flight responses. Not a huge difference there. Scott, what do you got?
All right, again, another example of the detective matching the emotion of the kid. And at the very end, the kid sighs, and he sighs and looks down, and the detective sighs the same way. So I thought that was brilliant the way he's doing it. He's doing exactly emotionally, from an emotional standpoint, what the kid's doing. So at the same time, the kid is looking at both the detective, guy detective, and the woman detective. And these are confirmation glances just to make sure that they're in and connected to see what they're thinking. So check in and see how things are going. All right, Mark, what do you got?
So as we've been saying throughout, he's never at any point suggested he wasn't involved. He's trying to minimise the extent to which he's involved. I'm not entirely sure why. I think the interviewer asked him later on, does he think that'll be better for him if he was involved less in some way, the body count was less for him. But clearly it's something he wants to do. He says, I just told him 3. I think the 3 is referring to the amount of people he may or may not have been involved with. And on that we get a heavy breath out, we get a look away, so an eyeball to some extent. We get this release of tension in the whole of the head, which then doesn't stabilise, so there's this little kind of wobble at the end, and then he gives a look around as well. That could be another release of tension, but I think it'll be a fresh check. Possibly both, or a fresh check excused as releasing tension. But certainly there's a big deviation from his usual nonchalant baseline on, I just told him 3, and this number being important. Look, this doesn't really tell you anything interesting or new about this case, but it does tell you to look out for clusters of very different behaviour, or one piece of very different behaviour around some specific item or specific word. And I think there's a really good, clear, this incredible baseline of apathy around the event. But on the number, how many he's involved with, plus or minus 3, there's a big baseline change, and that's interesting. Chase, what do you got on this one? Or somebody else. Greg. I'll get there in the end. Greg, what are you going to
Did you know what we did last time, Mark?
I think all of us are there for weekend. Yeah. Chase agreed. You get to see some fight or flight here. And I think the genesis of that fight or flight is this cop that he is now bonded to is starting to coke and prod. So we see his respiration rise up into his upper chest. And we see him blow out that CO2, those things we're talking about. He's also, I think, this is my opinion, that he's exhibiting some shame. And the guy asks a question, he tucks his chin, looks away, breaks eye contact, and checks back for confirmation of what he's doing, whether it's through confirmation. And he doesn't. The reason I point that out is because when the woman asks a question, that all disappears and he looks right at her when he's answering the question. So I think this guy has done such a good job of bonding to him that it's hard to look him in the eye and saying, I killed three. Which is very different than when he first came in the room, when he was happy to say, I did this, I did that, I did this. So when we're paying attention, this is what I love about this short clip is this is a great example of this detective sinking with this kid, regardless of whether he knows he's his opponent or not. He's got his head to a place that this guy's feeling some remorse or some guilt for having to tell him this. I don't think he feels any remorse for killing the people. I think he doesn't want this guy to judge him. And that's masterful interrogation. That's all I got.
Good catch.
How about explaining this?
You know what?
Explain.
That's. Let me tell you something. Here's something I saw Spidey does it all the time, like he's on stage. He does this thing where he grabs his thumb and somehow gets a hold of it. He does this and he pulls his thumb off and pulls it all the way into his hand. I've never seen anything like it in my life. But last one he does this thing where he grabs his thumb, he pulls it down and pulls it back. I don't know how he does it.
Cool.
He does it all the time.
Voodoo magic.
Yeah, he loves it.
Did you say anything, Christopher?
I
No. So you stabbed him. Now it's several hours later. How are you feeling?
This whole thing, like filming first step to get caught, I think I see about this. Yeah. But that because it's 8 o'clock in the morning now. So it's like 8 hours ago. So how do you feel now? Just kind of do that. Yeah.
So you were saying you pleaded with I guess when they were locked in the bathroom and what we don't were they locked in?
Bathroom, they were right next to his office.
Is it just working in the bathroom?
No, we're kind of 2 minutes gotta trust each other, right? Like this. And he's like, said, they were talking.
And which one? Okay. But in the Robert
went into the office, I love it.
Okay.
So I guess where I'm confused if you didn't want this anymore, you didn't want this to go down this way. Why on the doors and let this continue?
I just got the
So here's a problem that I have, and I don't want to be she cooperative. We're going to talk about her too. So he's going to his first story, and sometimes we're going to get different. So is there anything that you kind of quite tell me that I changed a little bit, and now that you understand Robert's going to tell me everything?
I tell you that because that's why I told you conversation.
What three?
What do you mean? You told me so you told me to go
because he asked me
Did you tell him to
just
So do you I guess this is my question for you. Do you think it's a lesser sentence killed one or you killed three?
No.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So they do a good bait question, or we know if you're talking about sharp, the same way. And I love, is there anything? Is my note. Is there anything? If you're sitting there, is there any reason? Is there? You should already know you're set up. That is a setup. And in the non-intelligence side, we know something you don't know, we know, and we're going to see if you'll play with it. That's where we go. He also tries to do trading. I'm going to tell you a lie about how many people I killed to my brother. Although we know he killed one. He's already I killed one person, one of my family members. But I lied to him about three. That's a trading thing I always talk about. Personal trust, something else. There's throat protection, and I after I got three. And that lip compression, Mark, when we're talking about dogs, my opinion is what he's doing here is actually resolution to the issue. He just got to a point where I'm resolved to it the way it is. And I think that's what we see. A lot of times people like we saw list the guys here that picture. They do that once they're busted. I think it's time to resolve the issues with that. Chase, what do you got?
One big thing here that I'll point out, this is not a dig on them at all, but you should never mention sentencing inside of an interrogation as an interrogation. You should be talking about that puts somebody in what's called long-term thinking and consequential thinking. We want them in short-term impulsive mode. And that's our job as interrogators to keep them in short-term thinking. This facial touching is really this kid's tell for deception. He's done it several times, and each time he's done it, there's a proven lie that immediately follows this facial touching. And is anyone else? I don't know if y'all heard it pronouncing three here. He pronounces the word three different ways, and it's so hard to hear throughout this whole thing that I just skipped over a third of these videos because I couldn't understand them. Then there's deception here with describing the numbers of his brothers. Lip compression, there's large inhale, confirmation glance, checking to make sure that he's being believed. There's a giant head movement. Scott's getting up and leaving. There's exit checking. Then there's a second confirmation glance. So that's a huge. Besides Scott leading, that is a huge amount of deception indicator. Scott was not.
I'm sorry. I thought I was trying to get Patty. Sorry. I couldn't. With these ideas, I was like, what the? Couldn't tell what was happening. I'm so sorry.
No worries. What do you got?
Okay. This is where his body ramps up. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We're talking about his mouth going goes up, goes around his hands speeds up. Couple of deep breaths, and this is all based around the question. Right? She sort of stepped on it there a little bit. I don't know what I couldn't figure out the reason for that would be when she did that. But the detective's right there with him, matching his body of stress, anxiety, and apprehension. Greg. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I got thing on this. The rest of you can't for the life of me hear what the kid's saying. I have zero idea. And so I was trying to work out, I was just checking my phone next, I was trying to work out who it reminded me of, and then it came up. There's a Tracy character called Mumbles. Yes. And then the film Dustin Hoffman plays him. Just a brilliant job. So don't leave the show now because there's more to come. But after the show, once you subscribe, all the usual stuff, check out Mumbles from Dick Tracy. Very funny and very similar to the murderer we have here. Let's have another video.
You know what's missing here? For interrogation purposes, what was missing here is emphasizing the truth and why this happened. I think they would have gotten really far just going along those venues. Like, we know what happened. We know, there's multiple people. We know it's a little more interesting. I want to figure out why first. Like, what is the meaning behind all this? And start dragging that out of 16-year-old, get him to try to build back the interrogator. I think that would have been fantastic.
Keep in mind, because he positioned why earlier on, which is it isn't society, it's about numbers. They've kind of they've spent that ultimately. Well, I mean, if that was the question they got, they spent that question early on and suggested exactly what the motive was.
Yeah, I think they were working together at the same time too. They're probably getting feed. Hey, what do you need from? So you're right. You should get a lot. The other thing, I've read that there were heinous in the house associated with the alarm. So his father was an IT guy and had a bunch of tight ends. So probably had all the evidence in the world. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. You could get more out of it. But these guys have evidence. Did you guys think he might have repeated that word 3 different ways and he's uncomfortable with how he speaks? Just because I was saying the same thing.
Could be. Yeah.
I just think he's that's part of deception. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's the problem that I have, and I don't have an issue for you because you're cooperative. We're going to talk about her too. So he's going to his first story, and sometimes they're going to get different. So is there anything that you kind of like tell me Brian changed a little bit, and now that you understand Robert's going to tell me everything?
I'm going to tell you that that's why I told you those things in a conversation.
What 3?
What do you mean you told him to go through? Did you tell him about?
Just
So do you, I guess this is my question for you. Do you think it's a lesser sentence in Article 3?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Robert, he may have. There's going to be a lot of differences. That's what I'm talking about. And we don't want you to come off as a liar. I mean, because you've been real cooperative. You seem like a kid. You graduated high school early. You're designing games. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you got going on. And so I want people to get at it and you and think the type of guy that like these ones kind of caught. You know what I mean? So tell me. I know you're leaving something out. Because it's like she says that you're this isn't like you still a bicycle. This is what you did. So it's a big deal. But a lot of people, when they talk about this thing, your honesty is a big deal, and how you handle yourself from here on out. And if you come off, because he's going to be outside, you don't scare me. I never thought you like this, so you seem like a kid. And you seem like an honest kid. But see, I talk to people all the time. I mean, I know people when I'm not getting my full story. And so I just want to catch you before you get in that spot where you're saying you're a bad guy, you're evil, you're a liar. So just tell me this.
I'll give me a little bit of this going into. Like, convincing people who are still alive, I was on the side, and call these, so they would stay.
So they kind of stands around. He'd go down. Did you ever have go get Robert to let him know somebody noise or anything?
No, I was just going through most.
So what sort of things did you say to them?
I feel like I said to them, just the average judge would say they would
Okay.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
He says you leave something out, and there's a big breath in, and then a puff out of the cheeks there, which can often mean somebody doesn't quite know where to go next. Like, what do I do? You know, they're a bit stumped. Where do I go next with this? Now, he then goes into, you don't seem like a bad kid, you're a normal kid. Just so you know, I really don't think anybody in that room other than maybe the kid thinks he's not a bad kid and he's a normal kid. This is just a show they're making in order to win that person over, to minimise the extent that we think this is very normal to like your mum and dad too much or the rest of them want to count bodies. You're a good kid. They don't think that. They're trying to win across the subject to them. Greg, what have you got on this one?
Yeah, this is a beautiful, subtle example of pressure. This is real pressure. And if you're not feeling what this kid's doing, you're not feeling where it's headed. So this is trading in reverse, you might say. I'll tell you what it really is. He's saying, hey, we already know you're a murderer. You won't lie around that. It seems like, okay, that's trading in reverse, but what that really is, it's something I call personal extinction, I always have. If I can figure out what four things make you who you are, and I take all of them away except one, and I go, guess what? You'll start to feel like you need to say something. It works wonderfully in many instances. A lot of people who do horrible things in the name of the cause will stand all day and say, I'm a liar. And if you can put them on the call a liar, then you've got it. If you put them on the mat, liar, you've got it. He's doing a really subtle job of doing it. And usually the perpetrator, this guy's the other way, earlier, lie and kill. He's doing it this way, saying, I know so what? And if you don't see the respiration increase, all the rise up lungs again, when he gets to the fact it's not like a bike. That respiration shallow, and you can hear those CO2 we were talking about. He does a great job of compounding that trust and getting this guy to listen to him. And Scott, you talked about it earlier, but if you really know what this guy's doing, listen to this video. Because his vocals are slow, his cadence is slow, his volume is lower, and the consistent tone and pitch is a beautiful thing. Look, I don't think there's any one of the videos we've seen yet that is as solid as this, but as powerful as this one. You see the kid's cadence, his movements start to glitch. And you can also see he's protective of his words, and you see his head shaking before he says anything. I think he's now showing whatever he says, everything is baseline. It's only directed to this guy. The one asked another question, I think you're going to get a response. And I think they're smart enough. And maybe it was intentional for her to come at him, I don't know, with that sentencing question to push him back into this guy's grasp. But yeah, I think it's a really good one. Scott, what do you got?
I think that's a great example of building this kid's ego up and telling him he's a good kid, he's not like his brother. And telling him the truth, showing that he's not like his brother, he's not the most evil of the two. So I think he executed that beautifully as he did that kid's right there with him. This whole time he's built up that rapport, he's built up that connection, he's built up the kid creating a relationship with him. So now he's got where he wants him. He's got to small things, glitches come up. Talk to him, ask him about it, he'll do him. And he does so well. And this is different from my all-time favorite interrogation that Tim Smith did with Russell Williams. This kid is a full-blown psychopath. This is one of those cases where the emotions weren't a developed child, in my opinion. Now this is my opinion. Because you got two different kinds of things people call, like you talked about earlier, call psychopaths. And it's the person who is born that way. You have the nature versus nurture concept where the person is born and their amygdala don't work properly. I don't know about this. So I'll make it short. But the amygdala part of the brain system that helps you have empathy for other people. It gives you, enables you to have empathy for other people. Not just sympathy, but feel the way they feel. So this kid may have that. I can't tell, but we are seeing spots of him talking from an emotional place. So I don't think he's acting psychopathic. His actions are he's a psychopathic killer, but I don't believe he's psychopathic. His nature or nurture. He was raised that way. His emotions weren't. Nobody said to him, "Oh, don't hurt the dog because hurt him. Don't pull his foot that way downstairs because it hurts." And never gave him examples. Maybe they're being too long time, being all the time or something. That's usually in the nurture part where the father is an alcoholic and they shut him down all the time. Like apparently that we know about this kid. So I think that's what's happening here. I don't believe that a true psychopath is somebody who is acting as psychopathic actions. In other words, I should say. So even though the crimes are horrifying, we're seeing enough of the emotions hits of emotion there to make me feel he's not a psychopath, but he's riding that fine line where this guy goes, oh, exactly because he is that. No. That's I don't think he was a psychopath. Was it Chase?
Yeah. I think the police interrogator did a great job. One way that in the future this could be done differently than one way that I teach is we're talking about like there's some information left out here. I distance that from that person. I don't say you left something out or you are going to be seen as a liar. I don't do that initially. So I'll start by removing it. And I'll say something and I'll trigger him with what he wants. And I'll say, there's so many people out there that want to be remembered as an action taker, but they're forgotten as a liar. So I'm triggering everything that he wants to be. He wants to be remembered, and lying equals forgetting. Like everybody forgets who you are. So I'm definitely coming up with that. But what the interrogator's doing here is called in the Reed technique school of thought, it's called a strong positive confrontation. And that's what's going on here. That's when interrogation somebody go, John, I like this person, you're a good guy, but I've been doing this for a long time. If there's one thing I know, it's when I'm not getting the full story. And that's what's going on. That's kind of the text script what that means there. And mostly the same stuff here on the kids' side. Don't want to waste your time.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Robert, he may have. There's going to be a lot of differences. That's what I'm talking about. And we don't want you to come off as a liar. I mean, because you've been real cooperative. You seem like a good kid. You graduated high school early. You're designing games. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you got going on. And so I want people to get at it and and think the type of guy that leads someone's kind of caught. You know what I mean? So tell me, I know you're leaving something out there. Because it's like she says that, this isn't like you stole a bicycle. This is what she did. So it's a big deal. But a lot of people, when they talk about this thing, your honesty is a big deal, and how you handle yourself from here on out. And if you come off, because to me, you don't see how bad guy, you don't scare me. I never liked this, so you just seem like him. And you seem like an honest kid. But see, I talk to people all the time. I mean, I know people when I'm not getting my full story. And so I just want to catch you before you get in that spot where people start saying you're a bad guy, you're evil, you're a liar. So just tell me what I'm missing.
I mean, I'll do everything on this. Like convicting people who are still alive, like on the side, and police, so they wouldn't stay and get
So they kind of stay around. He'd be able to come down in the end. Did you ever have them go get Robert to let someone still make much noise or anything?
No, it's just
So what sort of things did you say to them?
But I feel said to them to measure so they would
Okay. I was right. The guy interviewing Robert, kind of gave a quick version of what he saying that you did. He told me everything. Okay. So you're not being completely honest, and I gave one shot, Charlie. We just wanted one person. So you stab. Or you stab more than just one time.
Yes, one time.
How many times did you stab?
I think twice.
Because you don't know that.
Something and go email.
You mentioned forensics a minute ago. I mean, I'm just one of like hundreds of people here that are looking at this thing. Okay. We got the states coming in. There's I don't know 20 different forensic detectives at your house right now.
Took her a long time because the scene that it's.
So everybody that you killed, and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about it. And this is your last chance to just kind of let us know, to be honest, the man up, and tell us exactly what you did, and start making it right.
I did not stab to a damn.
You did not stab him.
I stabbed.
You stabbed him.
Yeah. She was walking back to
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where did you stab her?
I did go find.
Did you cut her?
I think so.
It doesn't seem like something you have to think about. I know it's you're still kind of going with it. And I was out there, I wasn't doing it, but you don't think about it. You know what you did. So you cut her neck. You stabbed Christopher in the neck. How many times did you stab Christopher?
Two or three things.
And who else did you stab?
So more.
Because here's the thing. Everybody's been stabbed, and you both know that, and we both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of the same level, and so now it's who's going to be honest and make this right, and who's a liar. Okay, which one you want? Okay, so you're your words. Okay. And do you want to make this right? Do you want to make this one time? Okay. What else is missing?
You want to start over then? You tell us where you start.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, there we go again. There's that resolve to it, compression, quick nod of confirmation. Yeah, I think that's where he's using it. There's a restoration increase. His sentence structure is gone. Chase, you talked about earlier, his pronunciation, we all said his pronunciation is bad, but his sentence structure disappears. And I think if you leave a guy alone, which they did just before this, they walked out for a couple of minutes, the person's head does all the work. When he's asking who else, watch his head jerk around like a squirrel on the road, and then he says, I stabbed mom. Like he just forgot you stabbed mom. Discuss that. I think we're running here. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I think he responds here to the perception of being a man of your word. So he doesn't want to be perceived as a liar. It's very interesting when he's playing this moral dignity of telling the truth against the moral indignity of multiple killings. So somebody who would kill so many people and the indignity of that, he would actually move towards the idea of wanting to be seen as somebody who tells the truth. He does respond to this. So he has a nature of I guess being self-centered rather than social. So clearly he has behaviours which are antisocial here. Doesn't mind killing people. Does mind being seen as a liar. Scott, what do you got?
All right, this is where everything changes for the detective. He comes in talking to the other detectives, and he's a little bit worked up. So he knows that aggression is not going to work with the kid being too aggressive from an adult, the aggression from an adult. So he kind of tampers that down and tries to keep their poor alive. And he gets to get the question about the being honest. He has to tell him that he cares. And he doesn't want anybody to think he's a bad guy. And that's why I asked if he's a man of his word. So you're talking to a kid, but he's a man of his word. So as the adult, he's saying, "You're a man, are you a man of your word?" So I think that's what's going on. They built that report together. The kids looking up to him at this point because it's probably the first adult in a long time. And Einstein's trying to connect with Chase. What do you got?
Yeah, I got it all.
I was right. The guy interviewing Robert, kind of gave a quick version of what he's saying that you did. Yeah, he told me that. Okay. So you're not being completely honest, and I gave you one shot. We just want one person. So you stab. Or you stab more than just one time. How many times did you stab? Because you don't know that.
Stop saying and go,
You mentioned for instance a minute ago. I mean, I'm just one of like hundreds of people here that are looking at this thing. Okay. We got the state police coming in. There's I don't know 20 different forensic detectives at your house right now.
They're going to take a long time because the scene that it is.
So everybody that you killed, and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're going to know about. And this is your last chance to just kind of let us know, to be honest, the man up, and tell us exactly what you did. And start making it right.
I did not stab to a damn.
You did not stab her.
Yeah,
You stabbed her.
Yeah. She was walking back to the
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I think
Where did you stab her? Did you cut her?
I think so.
It doesn't seem like something you have to think about. I know it's you're still going with it. And I was out there, I wasn't doing it, but you don't think about it. You know what you did. So you cut her neck. You stabbed Christopher neck. How many times did you stab Christopher?
Two or three things.
And who else did you stab?
So it's more.
Because here's the thing. Everybody's been stabbed, and you both know that, and we both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of the same level, and so now it's who's being honest and making this right, and who's a liar. Okay, which one do you mean? Okay, so you're saying your word? Okay. Do you want to make this right? And do the right thing at this point in time? Okay. What else is missing?
You want to start over them? You tell us where you start.
He stabbed. I didn't stab. It was stabbed
And so we only stab with your family because they went away. Towards the bigger plane.
The reason we was kind of thing is they were the way I
Just to start on the account.
So is this all game? How does count? Is this a game?
It's more like this and go steps like.
Did you now? Because you said this yourself. You told Robert you killed Three, and so now we're stuck in where you told us you stabbed Christopher and your mother. Is there one more person that you stabbed? And you didn't mention it earlier.
No.
Okay.
I can say something, but I ain't saying that.
How do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like the minutes.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? I mean, she watched her get stabbed, you cut her throat herself, and you watched her go to play some screen. How does that feel?
No. Thanks.
You know about it. And Christopher, your brother. I mean, you stabbed him in the neck. What has he ever done to you? So he's just a number. And how do you feel about that now? It's what?
One.
Chase, what do you got?
Go ahead and skip me. I'm going to skip this one. Mark, what do you got?
I think this is interesting for one reason. There's a motive there. It's pointless. There's a nihilistic motive. It's pointless. That is, I guess a current modern trope of why people might do some of these mass killings. An idea of look, it's the whole of life is pointless. So why wouldn't you? It's absurd. The belief that life is meaningless. Not that that's absurd. The belief that life is meaningless is called absurdism. Like who can make any head or tail of it. So I would just suggest all of us, we always need to help people in some way understand that there might be meaning to stuff, whatever that meaning might be. And if you dismantle meaning, if you dismantle values, that's okay, dismantle them, but you have to put something else there instead. Because if there are I don't care what the values are, I might, if your values come up against my values or my family, but ultimately, the real problem is when there is absolutely no meaning, and everything is valueless, because then why wouldn't you just do something like that? If you destroy values, you must replace them with something. Greg, go on this one.
You're back to microculture. Him and his brother have been in this dance of stupidity for however long. We don't know what kind of influence from outside through the internet or what parenting, because we can't speak to that. But they have married themselves to an idea that everything is pointless, so they can do anything they want. And that is cult-like when you are repeating to each other, and there's no outside influence, and they have devolved to this. Here's the interesting piece in this video for me. If you're not sure what's going on, listen to that CO2 release. Watch him start to rock. And distance from her. She gave him the answer, and he distances and repeats it. He suddenly realizes this guy is now judgmental, and this guy is judging him for all the things he's done, and he starts trying to accommodate the guy. That pointless word, was his brother's word from the very beginning in this whole thing. So he's come full circle, and now he's back to that respiration, back to that lockdown piece. I think what we're seeing here is what he would when he walked in the door in the very beginning. If this detective had not been masterful at getting him to talk. Now, did he find out anything he didn't know? Don't know. But what he did do is effectively manage this kid to the point this kid opened up and started to talk. Scott, what do you got?
You guys literally covered all the points. It was all about being pointless that I had in that part there, Greg, about that. So let's move on.
And so we only stop with your family because the way towards the bigger plan.
The reason we discussed kind of things, they were the way
Just to start off the account.
So is this all game? I'm kind of count. Is this a game?
It's more like time from this and go step record.
Did you now? Because you said just yourself. You told her you killed Bree, and so now we're stuck with Bree. You told us Christopher and your mother. Is there one more person that you stabbed? And you didn't mention it earlier. Good.
I can see something like that.
How do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like the minutes.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? I mean, she watched her get stabbed. You cut her throat herself, and you want your money to go play some screen. How's that make you feel?
No. Thanks.
You know about it. And Chris, your brother. I mean, you stabbed him in the neck. What has he ever done to you? So he's just a number. And how do you feel about that now? It's what? Pointless.
All right, well, we've watched all these videos and we've all come up with a verdict. Mark, what's yours?
Yeah, there's some great moments here where he moves out of this nonchalant baseline. It's great to see those. I'm just going to reiterate again, if you remove values, I don't really care what values you put in place, what I do, they're going to come up against my values, but ultimately, you have to replace them with something. If you don't, you're going to have a big problem. Chase.
Yeah, we're seeing a mixture of nihilism, loneliness, and testosterone. Greg?
Yeah, we're seeing two microcultures play out. The one of insanity between the two brothers who thought it was okay and pointless, and you can do anything you want without enough guidance and influence. And we're seeing a developed microculture by a masterful interrogator who creates a microculture in front of your very eyes for a very short period of time, and then turns on the other guy, and the other guy can't see it coming. Scott, what do you got?
I agree with all you guys. I think you could put this interrogator in a room with anybody. In about 20 minutes, they're going to think they've made a friend for life. One of those guys. Whether he likes that person or not, no matter what they've done, as in this case, one of the most horrifying things you can possibly do is kill your family. And this guy makes friends with him. This guy has kids believing that they've connected their friends. That was incredible. And he deserves credit out the wazoo for that. It was fantastic. All right, fellas, this is another good one, and we'll see you next time. We're going to dissect the body of Michael Bever as he's being interrogated. He and his brother killed his family. And Greg, tell us about the video to watch.
Yeah, this is a great interrogation. Those of you who like the interrogation really appreciate it. Michael and his brother are serving life sentences for the murder of 5 family members. Michael was 16, you'll see it here, and Robert was 18. These guys killed their family between 2020, and a short time later were captured in the woods behind the house, and this interrogation occurs within hours.
Well, I'm just kind of into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of details so we don't understand what you went through and stuff.
Okay, very sorry. It was like 2 months ago.
Okay.
So we first talked.
So when you say who you talking about?
Yeah, the other was
your brother?
Yeah,
What's his name? Robert? Okay. How old is he?
18.
Okay. Alright.
How much ago? I think we actually started talking about moving around pages like that. Body and stuff.
Where did he buy it from?
eBay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does he have a job?
He did have my there we go. And basically, it just escalated. He has to find when he says,
Okay.
And then about a month, June 30th, is when he found out getting legally without me. Good.
Okay.
And that's when I started finding.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So I usually talk about microcultures as being something very finite, like two people. And I started talking about that 20 years ago or so in a book. I talked about microcultures all the way to macroculture. We're going to talk about two microcultures in today's show. Because we're going to talk about microculture between these two dirtbag kids that kill their family, who fed each other, turned into something horrible, and an emerging microculture between the interrogator and the source, the prisoner. And it has to be a microculture because you have to build enough rapport to transfer information. This guy is going to do a great job. We're going to start watching him. He just finished the intake process. He's done all this paperwork, signed all his release, and now this detective does the classic. I'm new. You're going to help me out. Watch this kid. His respiration increases immediately. And Chase always talking. I think it's hard to get people sometimes to envision that when you're talking about breathing in your stomach, your whole body is opening up. As you get more and more apprehensive, your rib cage gets to be an iron cage that prevents you from breathing as your diaphragm rises higher. And that's due to fight or flight. And we'll see it happen. And what then you're doing is breathing in the tops of your lungs only. And you'll hear him occasionally go, because he's got to push all that CO2 out so he can breathe again. And it's really cool to watch. He does a really good job of it. One of my favorite things we've heard any interrogation ever is when this kid says we. He does interrogator 101. When you say we, what do you mean? Don't leave anything on the table. This guy does a great job. And you watch. This kid does sudden change and feels threatened. That's not the comfortable, relaxed arms across your body. That is a very sudden change. Anytime you get change, we know there's something going on. We're not talking about absolute across the body like this. It means that there's not and he's suddenly going to do a rather question you find out. Listen to his words. I'm always a fan of source leads. What he emphasizes is stuff. Listen. We're going to hear it over and over. Those are the keys to his story. You could poke and say, did Buddy get you? And give him an opportunity. He also says, mindset. He's everything he's pointing out are things that are important to him. And you can see him also doing some when he starts talking about planning, he's adapting, he's touching his face, and then the expression of his face goes to disapproval or distaste. And just watch him, because he does a lot of barrier. He's going to change things. He says suddenly doing, and then his barriers increase. He starts to adapt. His word pattern shift. This guy's going to be cleanly aware of this because he's doing something I call cold source leading. Every one of those things he's making note of mentally. You can watch him, maybe even writing it down, so that he can come back to it later. Scott, what do you got?
All right. Yeah. This is the perfect placement of a suspect and interrogator. They're not across the table from each other. The detective isn't too close. He's not too far away. He's just a little bit out of range of attention. I'm sure the kid's legs close enough for he can pat him on the leg if he needs to. But if he needs to, he'll work toward that and get over there when it comes time to close. If that moment arrives. And I think it's a great opening, like you were saying, Greg. It bummed me out because you got the stuff part. He said, I just got thrown into this. I know what you went through. And stuff. He's saying, I know what you went through. He's trying to identify with this kid, get him to identify with him. He's going to start matching mirroring to a high level here in a couple minutes. And he gets rapport right out of the gate with this kid. So he approaches this thing like a conversation. And he slides into the matching mirroring with his voice tone, his cadence, the words he's using, obviously his vernacular, and his volume, how loud he's talking. So we'll watch this develop, and he'll morph into a mirror of this kid as he goes through. This is how you should do it. It's the best example I've ever seen of somebody who instantly begins matching and mirroring someone else. Everybody says, it's all about mirroring. The matching part is when you start sounding like that person. You start using the same vernacular they're using. You use the volume, the same thing. You match all of those things, and you mirror their body language. That's the key. And you get both of those together, you create rapport instantly when that happens. It's a powerful, potent tool. This is I think that's the best we've seen on here so far. Of somebody instantly getting that kid's attention, because you're right, Greg. He gets worked up. He starts, which he would be in that case if he's not a psychopath. So that's one cue. We see emotion. It's stress. So we can add to that. But still, it looks to me like an emotional stress. He's stressed because of what he's been through, and then for what's happening to him now. I don't think he's worried about what's happening. We'll talk about that more in a few minutes. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. This is one of the probably top 1% interrogators that we've ever seen.
And I say that not because of what he's eliciting from the suspect. I don't go off of the behavior of the suspect. I'm going off of just his behavior and how he's conducting the interview. So having a suspect willing to walk in there and just talk about everything doesn't make you a good interrogator. How you behave does. And we're seeing that here very good. And one thing that I teach in interrogation is very early in the conversation, you want that person to start responding to incomplete sentences. So an example of this, the interrogator could have said, and by we you mean, and just leave it off. Them completing incomplete sentences is a rapid rapport builder as well, and it helps them be more open. He's at 90 degrees, which is a great angle to be at. Like Scott Greg covered that. And he makes that admission. Scott's thrown into this, an admission of naivete, lacking knowledge, makes it easier to ask questions, and separates himself from the investigators who are working on this, who are like really filled in on the case. Orange juice on the table is probably a bad idea. You can see that there's like some orange juice on the table there. There's several studies that show having somebody in an interrogation room in what's called a glucose deficit makes them extremely more suggestible and likely to tell the truth or to confess. And hopefully those are the same things. And in the study, they call this a measure of interrogative suggestibility. And glucose deficit plays a huge part in that. So these are called baseline questions. They serve three functions. I want to enhance compliance. Number one, I'm getting them to comply. I ask, you answer. They build rapport. Number three, it's an opportunity to measure some baseline. So his baseline here is calm, he's controlled, and his gestures on the table as he's talking about the kid here, which we all call illustrators. And their time to his speech. His breathing rate is already up, it's into his chest, so it might be hard to include that in some future analysis, but we'll continue to keep looking at it. His blink rate's pretty normal, so we know this will be a good indicator if we see a spike in the future. And his crossing his arms is a change, but I haven't seen the whole video. I'm just seeing him do this in one video. It's not a big enough change for me just looking at this one video to mean anything whatsoever. So it could be freezing cold in the room, or this could be some baseline thing that he does. You see arm crossing? Always look at the hands, which we see here are relaxed and very natural with the arm cross. That's all I got.
Mark. I'll give it a shot.
Mark. What do you say?
Listen, Chase, if the orange juice is going to be glucose, I don't think he's got round to his hands yet, because they are pretty flaccid at the moment. There's no big line of energy now. We will later on see those hands, those arms become more, shall we say, turgid, but at the moment they're really flaccid. And they're asymmetrical as well, which means one hand is, I said the word flaccid, and Scott's already gone. Can't help himself. He's thinking of something. I don't know what he's thinking of. But it might be rude. I don't know. So there we go. It is rude. So look, he's asymmetrical, and so that could mean there's a conflict going on. We'll see him be more symmetrical and more action with his gestures later on. So that's worth remembering. High breathing, yes, and lots of big out breath, which suggests to me he's going to run out of oxygen very soon. He's trying to deal with the carbon dioxide that's building up from that fight and flight, doing big out breaths, but no big in breaths at the belly, so he's going to run out of oxygen at some point. So at the moment, there's conflict, he's asymmetrical, his gestures are soft and flaccid, which means that he's lacking in energy. So is this deceit? Well, no, it's probably more likely defeat at this point. He's already straight into this situation, and he already seems to me relatively defeated by what's going on. And why wouldn't it be? It probably looked fairly bad for him out of the scene, I would imagine. And there's probably getting no way getting past that. And we'll see how this interrogation kind of lines up as we go along, exactly what these people are looking for, which is not necessarily did he do it, but how many did he do? Is probably the case. Greg, what are your thoughts?
Mark, I think he had an encounter in 10 on the way as well. I don't think that probably made him more relaxed encountering a police dog.
Right. Is that why the medical attention?
Not sure. He talks about all on the internet. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a
maybe the dog go for his chase. Where would the dog go for? Elbow, arm?
Anything that's close to his face.
Whatever's right.
Greg says his right arm.
I did his right arm. Let's see what that does.
I'm just coming into this, so I was hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened, because I need kind of details so we know we understand what you went through and stuff.
Okay, very sorry. It was 2 months ago.
Okay.
So let's talk.
So who you talking about? Your brother?
Yeah,
What's his name? Robert? Okay. And how old is he?
18.
Okay. All right.
How much do you owe? I think actually talking about stuff like that. Audio stuff.
Where did he buy from?
eBay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does he have a job?
He did in my there we go. And basically, it just escalated. He asked if I went in and said yes.
Okay.
And then about a month, like June 30th, is when he found out that he can legally buy without me, quote-unquote, good.
Okay.
And that's when I started planning.
So let's go back quick. We talked about ammunition being delivered. Making plans. Tell me about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we all plotted every night. And I started to do this 6 nights. So I started getting ready.
When was that? The second night?
July 1st.
Okay.
Because we started.
That's when you started making plans?
Yeah, that's when I started.
I see. Did you guys draw drawings or write things down? Is it like a journal, like a pad?
Yeah, it's like a point book.
Okay.
I think it's like a book.
So you think you wrote stuff in there?
It's planning.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen. What made you realize that?
How singleness. I mean, you're just going through. You start like taking on you on yourself, bang, feeling your ways, feeling myself.
Why did you go into
Yeah. Well, mainly because I think it's because he just like says everyone's society is so to people. And he also wanted to like beat the people, like to other things. People like calling to seekers.
Okay. Did you feel that way too? Like when you guys were talking about earlier, like
Yeah.
Like do you have a problem with society to anything? Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting. Okay. So, because you have a couple names are those like serial killers or something?
Like Columbine?
Yeah.
Columbine, James is a guy that shot
In Colorado?
Yeah, 12.
How many were killed in Columbine?
Columbine, 15.
Okay.
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So you'll see him picking at this bandage that surrounds his arm. That stuff is called Coflex. It's pretty normal for people to do. He may have gotten his blood drawn on the way in, see if he was under the influence. That looks like what that is. It's not really, it doesn't look like enough to be a bandage. I don't know. But it's suggesting, very gently suggesting that the older brother is the mastermind here. The detective is helping him to do that. And he refers to the other murderers as famous. He doesn't call them famous murderers or anything else. Just famous. They're famous people. Which is super weird. And they were made famous by the society that he just said is useless. So there's a bit of irony here. Which I hope Mark will talk about. Mark, when he talks about irony, there's Disney movies coming in, there's The Hobbit. You never know. You never know here.
I'll do my best.
So this is one of the best interrogators I've seen in a very long time. I don't say this based on the person, the suspect, but his composure, the way that he's so brilliant on the basics. He's brilliant at the basics of interrogation. And if you're watching this, we'd love to have you on the show with us to chat about this if you'd like. We're seeing pretty open behavior. We're seeing him grab onto suggestions that the interrogator is putting forth to subtly suggest this was wholly somebody else's idea. Somebody else planning. Listen to the softening words the interrogators use, like maybe and kind of, sort of, just. All of those are softening words to help him bite down on this idea. Scott, what do you got?
All right. I agree with you. And I thought it was more of a bandage situation because you get your blood drawn. Isn't a little thing thinner than that? It's like mine done. It's like a little thin thing.
At a lab, they use thin ones, but hospitals carry the thicker Coflex.
Oh, okay.
A lot more.
Okay. All right. I don't know. All right. Well, the kid adapts as the interrogator adapts, and the kid's already following him. He's following the interrogator when he moves, the kid moves. He does those things. That's the very first thing we see coming into this one. And you don't have to keep in mind when you're mirroring somebody, imagine someone, you don't have to do the exact same thing. And you'll notice that a lot because the kid gets stressed. Sometimes he'll squeeze his hands a little big, and the guy will go to his face, or he'll right here to show the kid he's stressed. Put that in his head because he's trying to make him feel like he feels like the kid feels. And that's really important here. He's trying to open up, and we're going to see that work very well here. This is a textbook example, actually, of matching and mirroring. They both got their arm on the table when the kid puts his on, or the cop puts his on, or the detective puts his on, and their arms crossed in front of them. Beautiful execution on all that. Then after this, he'll move to mirroring his breathing, because the kid's breathing gets a little bit odd in there, and you watch the detective does too. When the kid's size he'll sigh too. And then put his hand to his face and do that. He's showing that he feels the same stress that he's feeling. Now, this may not seem important, but he's executing perfectly one of the most potent tools you can possibly do. Mark talks about the breathing in and out, and matching the breathing as well all the time. Because that will, when someone is in the hospital, the doctor will try to calm them down. The doctor will start, the guys that know about it, or women who know about it, they'll start breathing at the same rate the patient's breathing. And that helps you calm down. I don't know why that is, but that's what happens. But the things this guy's doing, he's talking to him, trying to act like those things. I've done this before with a kid I was talking to. And this works because I think this kid may not have had a father figure that was cool with him, really nice to him. So he needs that. So he needs an older person tell him that he's, talking to him in the fashion he is. I'll detail later on as we go through this. The kid starts scratching his eye and rubs his eye, and the detective does the same thing. It's not the exact same thing, but he's really close and does it. So that's really important. And you start hearing that rhythm as they talk back and forth. It's really easy to talk to someone, and you'll talk for a minute, and then there'll be a little pause, and they'll say something, you'll talk right back. He's waiting to get that rhythm going, so it's almost like a ping-pong thing going back and forth. So he's matching him with his vernacular, his words, his tone, his cadence, and he's mirroring his body language. He's mirroring his breathing. He's got that ping-pong with the conversation going back and forth. It's really, you know he's doing this. That's the thing about him. He's so good, he doesn't realize that's what he's doing. But he's connecting with that kid. And that's why we're going to hear the kid start talking. Mark, what do you got?
Talking of Mike cultures, Greg. There are times when I just can't work out what this subject is saying. I don't understand the Michael culture of the. But I pick up this thing. It's like a blank book, and he then becomes very energized in symmetry with his gestures, and he also illustrates that book. He shows us the book essentially. I think he tells us it's under the bed. I could be wrong because I find it sometimes very hard to work out what he's saying. But it's interesting. Suddenly his gestures stop being flaccid, they start to become energized, they go into symmetry, he illustrates or kind of mimes for us perfectly this book. So very probably the book exists. Very probably it is under the bed, and very probably even if the book doesn't exist, he wants us to think and know that the book exists. Because I think he wants to suggest there is some evidence out there that says he's not fully involved and somebody else is absolutely and most fully involved in this, and he's seen an opportunity to really put that across and illustrate that. So that for me is a massive difference from how he started out, which was asymmetrical and these kind of floppy gestures. This feat suddenly becomes something more of a celebration. Now, it's interesting to talk about essentially the interviewer here for me feeds him the idea of that it's not about society, it's about numbers. Now I don't know whether there's been some conversation beforehand or some information around that this isn't about a social grudge of any sort. But the interviewer seems to be putting this feed the idea to him that it's not about society, it's about the numbers. It's interesting that the grudge against society would be more kind of tropic of sociopathic or even psychopathic. You imagine those extreme, cartoon versions of the psychopath. They've got some massive crazy grudge against society. At the moment, everybody's trying to move away from that and go, it's just kind of a numbers game. You just want to get either status around that, or you like counting numbers, you like collecting things. Interesting idea. Let's see where that goes into. Chase, what are you on this one?
Did I go?
Oh, you did.
Greg.
Scott? No, Greg.
Yes. Mark, I'm going to go to the very last thing I have here first, and then go back because you said something that is key. Many years ago, when I was dealing with people in interrogating, I remember one of the most interesting things I ever learned. A guy actually saying, well, if I killed a bunch of people and did something terrorist activity, people remember my name. If I just worked the rest of my life, they won't. That's a different mindset, a different way of being. Killing 50 people, putting you at the beginning. And you have to get into that psyche to be able to talk to that guy. Now let's back up a minute. Because I look because I have a blank stare, people probably think I'm aggressive all the time interrogator. Not true at all. Actually, I'm the other way. I believe that you have to get a person calm down enough to be able to rapport so that you can actually do what we do. The skill set of terrifying somebody is the captor's job, not mine. My job is to do something else. Now, if I'm captured, different story. I've captured a lot of people in my life over doing things, both in real world and training. And the training, trust me, you wouldn't think it was training the way it was carried out. So I've seen hundreds of people react. One of the things we know is that when a person's brain is consumed by terror and fear, number one, they can't remember. Number two, they're going to say whatever you want to hear. And number three, nothing is reliable. So it's a waste of time at that moment. The other interesting thing is the human brain prioritizes input and stimulus when it's in terror. One of the best things we know is this kid is not in terror now. This guy has managed what he's done to calm him just a bit so he can start building rapport. And you know that? He's playing with that bandage. He wouldn't notice that bandage on his arm if he were in sheer terror because it's not a threat. And a great example. One of the things when you're captured, often people don't realize their bladder is full until 15 minutes after they're captured and they're starting for the bathroom. You know that their fight or flight is starting to turn down. You can go over and talk to them. And you can start to get some control. You're also giving them relief. So there's a lot of things that go into play here. Watch this kid. This guy's so good. This kid becomes non-confrontational and non-judgmental. He can see non-judgmental. So he opens up. Look at his body language, Mark. Exactly what you said. He asked him a question about a book. He accesses over, hey, remembering this book. Then he starts defining the book with his hands. And I think this kid is opening up because he thinks now he doesn't feel any connection to this guy, so he feels like he's embarrassed to tell him what he did. That's a beautiful place to be. Once you get to a point where the person's embarrassed, now you lose some ability to get information out. It's not there yet. He still feels like it's okay to talk this way. We'll watch that change through these videos. When he's doing this, it's likely his first idea of awareness of what's going on, and he's comforting himself. Said that. And I agree with you, Chase COVID. I mean, no band over a piece of gauze. It could be because great as I knows, but I do. It's COVID stuff. He does stuff again. So he's emphasizing stuff. He says something, which probably means that means something. We gave our stuff away, so the game is overdone. He does some emotional accessing and touches space. Now this interrogation thing, as you start paying attention, you got to see what a good interrogator does. He's trying to disarm the guy, bring him down to a comfort level, free enough for the guy feels safe talking to him, and just wait and watch what he does to him later. This is the easy part. Waiting for him to calm in, but knowing when and how to talk to the kid, so the kid starts to feel you, and you can say, hey, I get it. It's better to do this than sit in your house. Nobody know who you are. And you can see he's not judging. He's doing all that other stuff that you guys are talking about. I agree with you guys 100%. And the last thing you see is this kid. I work with New Yorkers all the time. And New Yorkers have a tendency to talk at the same time. Pretty common. This kid's doing that with nonverbals. He's going and confirming the guy's question before the guy finishes. Chase, exactly to your point. He's being trained how to respond, and he's doing it quickly.
So let's go back quick. We talked about ammunition being delivered. Making plans. Tell me about making plans and what you guys talk about.
Making plans, we all plotted every night. And I started to do this 6 seconds night. So I started getting ready.
When was that? The second night when
July 6th. Okay. Because we started.
That's when you started making plans?
Yeah, that's when we found out about it.
I see. Did you guys draw and write things down? Or is it like a journal, like a pad?
Yeah. It's like a 7-point cook.
Okay.
I think it's like a little case.
So you think you wrote stuff in there?
It's a plan.
So then the second day you said that's when you realized that it might actually happen. What made you realize that?
How singleness. I mean, you're sworn you start playing taking someone's young, you said to bang, throwing away stuff. Feeling like almost stuff.
Why did he do that? Yeah.
Well, mainly because he just like says that he takes everyone's society places so to people. And he also wanted to like beat the people like around to other things. People like calling to job seekers.
Okay. Did you feel that way too? Like when you guys were talking about earlier, like
yeah.
Like do you have a problem with society to anything? Or you were just more like the number of people getting killed was kind of interesting and exciting. Okay. So, because you mentioned a couple names, are those like serial killers or something?
Like
Yeah.
James is a guy that shot
in Colorado, right?
Yeah, 12.
How many killed in Colorado?
Like 15.
Okay. So then kind of what happened is you guys started all that together and throwing things away.
Yeah, we did that packages and the whole sounds, all that stuff. So we set it.
So was the plan to to use the knives first on the family, because the guns were going to be here till later on.
Yeah, they got too loud.
Oh, I see.
So, what you said, on the charges, they did not do this.
Yeah.
I just it's right there.
Yeah. So then you picked a day, you said?
Yeah, just 2 days.
You picked a time and everything?
Yeah, and then I six.
So how did you know you just came in contact, you got
You were hanging out all day.
Okay, and so,
How did you date?
Because you almost don't have the mission. He did see that. So he told me the day before the mission. The day after.
do you guys not like your mom? I mean, was there, I mean, most teams don't like their parents, so I can understand that.
Yeah, mom's really good. School's good.
Just a little bit too much. So you guys went in your room, and was it right at midnight, and that's when that started?
My sister, and she came in because she's going to she told us.
How old is
13.
Okay.
She can tell us that this kitchen done for that sucks. And it's basically the client I got to my desk, and this like casual looking things into this gas we all to a sled.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
Yeah, here's another bad exhale when he says set a date. He's very emphatic about it. I think this is part of their whole plan. But he's listening to him. He's talking about people. There's no emotional accessing. Nothing. I don't think we're seeing any feeling for these people. He shows stress, all that eye rubbing. There doesn't appear to be any more sadness or anything about how he's perceived in the room yet. We'll see that change. But right now, he's just talking like this is a video game. His chin's down, he's got restricted breathing, and then you start to see how squares where kids turns into as he starts to feel some kind of remorse in there. And when they ask the question, the best single piece of advice I understand now that I've seen this entire thing is to ask the question about parents. There is absolute contempt in this kid's face when he's talking about parents. And then the only emotional access we really see is when he's talking about his perception of them. And he also says something about your sister, and she came in to tell us. That's another aggressive thing pushed out of his mouth with a lot of strength. When I say a source lead, you're talking to a criminal prisoner, an intel source, and they bring up something with a lot of emphatic behavior. We call that a source lead because we know that needs to be exploited. And there are two kinds, hot and cold. A hot one means I go at it right now. A cold one means I put it off and bring it back up later. I would call that one a hot lead. I would ask a question, but he's good at masterful, not angry this guy. And I think either way it would have worked. This kid is starting to turn now, and that's an important part. Chase, what you got?
Yeah, so the behavior we're seeing throughout this is pretty abnormal. And from what I've been able to learn, they dealt with extreme isolation and potentially some abuse. They were kept inside. They lacked a lot of social skills and social connections with people in the real world. And at this age, boys are struggling hard with identity and impulsivity, and they have testosterone levels that are just through the roof. And we could also be seeing what he sees as an authority in his older brother. This was likely a factor no matter what else we see. And being psychologically vulnerable at that age, with that state like that, not being connected, which could come from any number of disorders, abuse, neglect, and genetic factors. It does one major huge thing to kids at this age. It makes them seek extreme solutions to simple problems. And this causes a lack of empathy and understanding that makes doing the crime like this a lot easier. I'm not going to comment on the clip here. I heard some negative stuff being discussed in it while we were watching this morning, so I didn't do that. But I will say I'm not really sure why people get so obsessed with the our culture anyway is obsessed with the checklist and diagnoses. And if we're witnessing psychopathic behavior, we can call it psychopathic behavior because it is psychopathic behavior. There's a weird trend in our culture where we need to find labels and checklists as if all of us fit in some kind of Excel spreadsheet somewhere. People are all different. And I think it's a critical oversight that really undermines our understanding of psychopathy, and it favors simplistic, flawed labeling system that gives us a placebo of feeling like we understand something about the messy truth of just human life in general. The psychopath checklist is a model, and as Mark says, all the time, all models are useful, or all models are wrong. Some models are useful. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Greg, to your stuff. Yes, you're absolutely right. We then get date, and we also get planned and us. And so it's interesting how we're getting a lot of stress there around some of these mundane things of what and where and when. We are getting some people, but the people tend to be us. And so things, events, not so much people and feelings. And so we could put that on a continuous spectrum of neurotype and behaviour, along with actually those phonic stresses that we're getting. Not that I've seen a study on this, but there's a data point of I'd say 5 on my part, seeing in a certain neurotype that stressing on certain phonemes where usually you get those stresses there. So that's just of interest to me. I'm making absolutely no diagnosis or prediction around that. Just the way I went, that stress somewhere before. Anyway, it's messy, it's muddy, it's real life. It's not film or TV, which isn't messy or muddy. The great thing about film and TV is it's not a crossword puzzle. You should be able to get it right. You sit down, you watch it, you get fed it, and you go, I see what's happening here. I even dislike those kind of whodunit things. I'm like, just tell me who did it, and let's get on with it.
That's why Columbo's so good. They give you in the front, and then
work back.
Right. Which is so different from real life, where you don't know up front, and you don't know during it, and you often get right to the end of it, real life, and you're like, what happened there? I have zero idea what went on there. And I think, as I said before, when confronted with this not knowing, you're either happy with that, or you get really angry and upset that you don't know, or you make up a whole bunch of stories. And I think some of these models chase are great stories for people to jump on top of and go, well, okay, let's put them in this box, this story of sociopath, psychopath, or this or that, or whatever you want to bundle people into. Look, nothing wrong with that. Just so long as you go, okay, it's possible, it's probable. Anyway,
everyone wants a simple checklist for a monster. That's just
I agree with you. And the thing is, like you were saying, they'll see this guy and think, oh, got him out of the gate. How could you do that if you weren't a psychopath? That's the thing. It sometimes takes a year to diagnose somebody being a true psychopath or clinical psychopath. So you can't just call it out. I'm glad you said that because it gets on my nerve.
Right. No. He's a killer. Doesn't matter what brand of killer. He killed his family.
Yeah. And speaking of Columbo, the other day when I was coming back when we come back from Dallas, right? I've told Greg this already. So anyway, this woman sat next to me. She's from Phoenix. Denise. Hi, Denise. I know you're watching because we talked about this. Denise and I talked for a while, and I really wanted to watch Columbo, right? Because I downloaded that from that channel, Watch It for Days. It's all these Columbo episodes, and scroll through. She tells you who all the actors are, what was going on in Peter Falk's life at the time. All it's fantastic. I watch all of it. So I finally got to where I could disengage from the conversation. I had my iPad, I got it out. And so I saw her moving over here with her. And we're getting really close. It's getting really bumpy. And it wasn't the roughest I've been on. We've all been on those planes that everybody else gets horrified, and we don't. Like, well, aren't you scared? Because this thing's going to crash, the odds are in our favor. So anyway. I'm sure they said, when I saw everybody putting their things up, so I always put my iPad down, and I put it down near my lap, and I flip it back up so I can watch it. I continue watching on that guy. So we land, right? I'm sitting there watching Columbo. And as we land, I catch out of the corner of my eye, she's still moving around a lot. And she starts doing this Catholic cross thing, right? And I'm like, so I take off my headphones. I'm like, Dawn, what's going on? What's happening? She goes, the engine. I'm just glad the engine worked. And I'm like, yeah, why would the engine work? Obviously, these planes are great. They're built to take off, land, go through lots of storm. She said, Did you not hear what the pilot said? I said, what are you talking about? She said, you didn't hear that. I said, no, I didn't hear it. What do you say it? She said, our engine wasn't working. We had one coming in. I said, what are you talking about? I looked around, everybody else was like crying, holding things, and talking, and praying, and all kinds of stuff. I looked out the window, and the ambulances, the fire trucks, all this stuff's out there, and we're just sitting there waiting.
So Boeing or Airbus?
No, it was Airbus.
So you know what happens, guys? You're talking smack about helicopters just before the 4th.
Yeah. That's right. That could have been. But I went through that whole at the luggage thing. People were hugging. They friends for life and all that. So I missed the whole watching Columbo.
Chase, it's not that you and I are saying that Boeing have bad aircraft. I mean, that's why I would just say that I think Boeing have very, very good aircraft, and I'm always very happy to. And I've got my "Don't Shoot Me Boeing" card as well, so I'm okay. So everybody knows I'm okay.
We should do that video of the guy
who gets shot.
The guy who.
Yes. Yes. That's interesting. Yeah, so that we can back up that it was nothing to do with Boeing.
There you go. We'll put that one up. We'll get
video. Involved in any way.
Okay. So then kind of what happened is you guys started all that together and throwing things away.
Yeah, we did that packages and the whole sounds, all that stuff. So getting up songs. And so we set the date.
So the plan to use the knives first on the family because the guns were going to be here till later on.
Yeah, they got too loud.
Oh, I see.
So go ahead, use the knives on the charges. They did not do us good.
Yeah.
I just so it's
So then you picked a day, you said?
Yeah, just 2 days.
Did you pick a time and everything?
Yeah, and then I said,
So how did you go? You just came to contact, you got
we were hanging out that day.
Okay. And so
How did you play a day?
Because you almost don't have the mission. He did see that. So we told him the day before the mission. The day after.
Do you guys like your mom? I mean, was there they? I mean, I'm seeing different parents, so I can imagine that.
Yeah. Mom's really good. School's good.
Just a little bit too much. So you guys went in your room, and was it right at night, and that's when that started?
My sister, and she came in because she's going to she told us.
How old is
13.
Okay.
She can tell us that this kitchen done for that sucks up. And it's basically the client I to my desk, and this like casual looking things. Yes, we all to a slip. I ran to see a long.
Okay.
So I did. I didn't.
Where's the ad for your alarm?
It's not to.
It's what?
It's not. Yeah. So I went to see a long. So
has she already gone outside?
She said I'm going to have to go.
So where did she
was playing to go back. The band she wants to go and start to go and shop from. Yeah, so there's a big thing she went back inside to go to the books.
Did you bring her in or did she
She's down telling me to run out and to go to the side, so she's the Everything's great. She's still moving. And then that's about the time Dad came down. Because it's business. And he went down and was they started chatting. They got a little bit fight. Eventually, well, down. I think he couldn't be able to.
Did he connect her to? Where did that happen? In your room. And where were you?
I was staring in the hallway.
Okay. So did you see him cut your guy's throat? Did he stab you in other places too?
I don't know. I think he just went to go.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, look, very simply, I find him casual and nonchalant in his behaviour around the killings. Yet at the same time, there's a lot of asymmetry, there's a lot of eye blocks, the lines of energy are broken, it's there's a sense of defeat, his breathing is high, there's some closure that happens around the mouth over areas. So my guess would be at this point that he isn't happy about being in this interview, and that seems to fit. Why would anybody be overjoyed and confident about being in this interview situation? Yet at the same time, there isn't so much level of stress around the killings, casual, nonchalant. I find that an interesting juxtaposition. Though at the same time, not odd that it's a little bit messy around somebody who's clearly got so messy around a bunch of people. We shouldn't expect anything kind of deducible by this and ordinary around any of this. It would be interesting, wouldn't it, if you had somebody who can go out to kill this many people, and we're like, that's very ordinary behaviour. That's very, of course, that's just what we do every day. Yeah, we should be seeing something which is probably difficult to explain, a little bit more than a little bit muddy and a little bit odd. Seems muddy and odd to me, but why not? Chase, what do you got on this one?
Yeah, I agree. But let's talk about why you're seeing him act so calmly during this interview with the officer. There's a few reasons that this could be happening, and I won't pretend that I know which ones are true or not. If this is psychopathy, forget about the checklist. But we are seeing somebody who has a total absence of guilt and remorse. Second, if the shooting was planned for months or weeks, this experience of being arrested and interrogated was expected, planned on, and anticipated. So there's no fear because the future is certain. Fear comes from uncertain future. If you think about that. That's what happens there. And he's not trying to deceive anybody necessarily. He may be trying to minimize a bunch of stuff. He's not making up a ton of lies and fabricating an entire event. The third reason could be shock and dissociation. It could be going on. It's a psychological defense mechanism that helps people cope with some seriously overwhelming emotions just by detaching or unplugging us from reality. So dissociation manifests as outward calmness, even if the person is experiencing lots of internal stuff going on. That's all I got there.
What do you got? Yeah, great. I love what you said. 100%. And what we're seeing here, in my opinion, is yes, you can dissociate from the actual killing and all that because you're prepared for it, and you know you got a box in your head for it. What I think he's having a hard time with, what I think you're seeing is he's having a difficult time with the other part. Now he's starting to bond to this guy, and he doesn't want to disappoint this guy. This guy maybe a father figure knows. I can't speak to that part, but you can see, and I've been in many interrogations where a person's done something. They'll tell you they've done it. But when it gets down to the nitty-gritty, they don't feel guilty about what they've done, but they don't want you disappointed with them. They don't want your judgment. And this guy's not judgmental now. There may be part of that occurring. So that for me is really interesting because it means the bonding is taking place very effectively. I think Scott, you said it earlier. All that matching and mirroring is powerful. And the kid is not being judged, and if he feels like he's not being judged, but there's potential to be judged, then that creates a kind of fear that will show itself here. So, for example, all this incongruent movement and all that Mark is showing, I think that's what it's about. I don't think it's the other way. I think he doesn't care about what he's done. And Chase, to your point, dissociation would give him the ability to compartmentalize that. But this stuff, you can't. We see it. Well, he's got no emotion at all. You see that respiration increase. Like you would expect that the talking about killing your mother would do that, not the other way. And listen to him when he says about the mother. Yeah, she was an entryway, almost like saying, I left my bike in the rack from the school, that casually. But he's certainly feeling some anxiety about something. Scott,
what I was referring to is the dissociation from trauma and dissociation being a trauma response.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. That dissociation is related to the actual act. But that doesn't protect him from this, from being afraid to let somebody. So I agree 100%. I think he probably was all ready for that. And the dissociation compartmentalized that away. But he's not ready to disappoint this guy who's just been friendly to him.
That just means that there's a potential for him to be in a dissociative state.
Oh, for sure.
At present.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
Sorry.
All right. So on the replay of this, when they go back, you subscribe, watch their hands and mouths. They do the exact same thing, almost perfectly. They're measuring each other perfectly. They're both throwing their fingers at the same time, all that. Listen for that rhythm again with the conversation going back and forth. You're seeing two people locked in. You're seeing this interrogator is locked in with this kid, and it's beautiful. I know I'm leaning hard on that, but it's fantastic what he's done here. It's so hard to do it well because you can't do it with everybody. This kid's not trying to come back. He's not trying to do anything. He's just keeping up information everywhere, and that's why. Because once you're in it, you feel like you're building this relationship with this person. That's what you feel like you're becoming friends with him. So you got to trust him. You got to tell him things. That's what he's done. That's what's going on here. So this kid's feeling like he's building a relationship. And going back to what you're saying, Greg, and I'll talk about it later on. He may not have had a figure like that in his life he could bond with. Like you were saying, Chase as well, about someone being older and trying to connect with that person and trying to make them proud of you or happy for you or be happy with them. So he's identifying with him, and that's just one of the reasons. Like I said earlier, he's just keeping up all this information because he doesn't feel the need to push back on it. I think he feels okay about it. But on the other hand, I don't think, from an emotional standpoint, I don't think he has anything in there to feel bad about or feel I don't think he feels bad. I don't think he's a psychopath. But I don't think he's emotionally he's coming across or giving up any emotions in this. So, but I do think he's trying to connect with this guy, and that's why they're connecting so hard.
I ran to see a long. Okay. So I did. I didn't
Where's the ad for alarm clock?
It's not to.
It's what?
It's now to. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wanted to see a long. So.
Has she already gone outside?
She went to
So where is she?
She was playing to go back. The band she wants to go and start to go. Yeah, so she went back inside to go.
Did you bring her in or did she
She was down to go to the side, so she's the Everything is great.
So she goes back to that. She's still alive.
Yeah, she's still moving. And then that's about the time Dad came down.
Okay.
Because it's business. And he went down and was I call it. They started chatting. They got a little bit like eventually. Well, down. I think he couldn't be able to.
Did he commit suicide? Where did that happen? In your room. Yeah. And where were you?
I was staring at the hallway.
Okay. So did you see your guy's throat? Did he stab you in other places too?
I don't know. I think it just went to go.
You know, you guys had all these detailed plans. You had all the cool stuff to make it happen. And it kind of fell apart. And he said, like it goes going. I mean, did you kind of just freak out a little bit?
Yeah. I didn't. So it was like. Yeah, dumb. But here's what me is like. It's crazy because you guys worked together and made all these plans and you know had it all figured out. And then when it happens, you're just kind of standing around doing anything. And did you decide like Robert's going to kill everybody and I'm going to stand here and nothing so I better? I mean, did you? Yeah, I think I didn't kill him. Into it. So I was like telling him, like kill everyone. Yeah, you stand in that. I mean, I well, what I'm saying is it's not Robert's the one that should get all credit here. I mean, yeah, that's a big deal. You know what I mean? I don't want to be. Well, I'm just thinking, because you said the plans like you're supposed to kill this person, he's supposed to kill this person. Were you supposed to kill Chris? Was he your responsibility? No, you just worked out that way. I was kill Dad. But he had already done that. Yeah. So now you're left standing there. So you try to kill Christopher, you stab that, or you just gonna? I mean, I put myself in the neck. I think I might have hit his shoulder. As soon as
So, originally, your responsibility was Victoria. And Dad.
Did you guys cross specifics? Because you said cross. So you said, I mean, you guys had a plan like this is specifically how we have to do it. Yeah, specific. I think he got this plan to do something simple kind of that. Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a lot quieter.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I love this is, you know, as well as the male interviewer is doing here, I think he runs out of runway a little bit, and you see him turn to the female interviewer, and he has that look of can you go now? You take over now. Yeah. She comes in with a question. He then gives him enough time just to regroup himself, and he's back with an idea, or maybe just a little more confidence around the idea that he has. So I mean, look, even when you've got somebody who looks to be doing so well, I mean, he's so casual with him. He's so kind of calm, so engaged, so interested, curious about this. But you see him run out after a while. Great that he's got somewhere with him. Easy handover, takes back over. Thought it was lovely to see that. Greg, what are you going on this one?
Yeah, this is really good because we do see him close up. We see him close up at a certain time. And Chase, we get to know where there's colors around the room. And his hands are trapped, which usually you don't do if you're feeling really threatened. But I do think he's very. And the reason I think he's very interesting is we see his shoulders rise and get tighter as he goes into this whole conversation. When he first starts this accusation, he had all this cool stuff and plans to see him across. I think he's uncertain where it's going. I think he gets okay with it. Because the detective then does something very simply. He says, "Did you kind of freak out? See the kids prowl like, yeah, I kind of freaked out, raised in recognition, and a quick nod to agreement." This detective's done a great job getting real estate in this kid's head, and even does up talk, kind of a positive thing. Oh, no, you don't. That's usually not how it goes. So he's reinforcing that relationship and not condemning it. And that's a powerful tool when you're trying to get people to talk. But as he started saying something about that was my plan, I didn't want to do it. Now he's trying to start shuffling and to protect himself from what's eventually going to get him locked up forever. And that's him and his brother both going against each other, I believe, if I recall correctly. And this cop's gotten to a point of trust where he thinks that this cop believes what he's saying, so he's going to tell him whatever he thinks the cop will listen to. And there's some emotional accessing and exasperation. I'm going to just jump over a couple of these things. That shallow breathing and narrowing of the shoulders is the other thing I think this is getting. You see your shoulders get tighter and tighter and tighter and higher and higher and higher. It's how turning occurs, but in this case, it's just his rib cage is getting higher and higher. I think up to now, until we get into this, he's been in this place where he has this illusion that what he's doing is kind of cool. But he's bonded this guy now, and now this guy doesn't think it's cool. Now there's a different thing. So whatever he brought to the equation and let him talk about this like it was just a normal thing, is starting to fail a little bit. We start to see breaking eye contact because I think he knows this detective isn't pleased with what he's saying, no matter how polite the detective is, and there's a chance of being judged. I think that's what we're seeing. Scott, what do you got?
All right, the kid closes off here, his head turns a little bit. He crosses his arm, looks arms to the floor. I'm not going to repeat her talking about Greg. But the detective is still playing this low aggression play with him. And you're right, and he's doing that because he can do that now without fear of being the kid pushing back because he's already bonded with him. And then when that one starts, the woman detective starts asking questions. That helps as well because you bring that female thing into it. You deal with the kid, your testosterone is probably through the roof. And so he needs that motherly figure, which I don't think the mother in his family obviously wasn't a big deal for him. He wasn't attached to her very well. So I think that light voice and it's not an aggressive voice at all as she's talking to him. So I think that helps as well. And I think the detective understands that too. I think she steps on a little bit here in a few minutes, but on this one she doesn't. He was waiting for her to jump over whatever question was going to be. But let's remember, this kid is talking about killing his entire family. But he's talking. If you watch this without the sound on, I could tell you they're talking about this kid getting in trouble for stealing a bike. That's how unimportant this sounds. How unstressed he is about that part of it. I think he's worried about what's going to happen to him because he doesn't know. At this point, it's not that he cares. I think he's just wondering. So he's a little bit frustrated about that. So no emotions, anything like that in there. So far from a layman's perspective, it doesn't look like much is going on. But from an interrogator's perspective, when you see what's happening, and I keep focusing on the same thing because I think he's doing such a good job of it. This guy's so good at doing this. So that's where my focus is because I'm so excited about that. Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, I don't know if y'all could hear my phone going off.
No.
I had my mom on emergency bypass. She's asking me if I could chat for a minute. And I had to respond to her. So, hey, mom, I'm filming a panel right now. So his when he's crossing his arm, one thing that I always look for is what I call digital flexion. So is the hand just relaxed on the arm, or are you seeing the fingers make indentions into the flesh, into the skin there? And so we're seeing a lot of tension in the hand. And his first large sign of hesitancy and stress here is a question of his intent with stabbing Christopher. He's probably trying to minimize his motive and motivation. Everything else is pretty much the same. We're seeing great interrogation. We're seeing a stressed out kid who's unusually, absurdly calm. That's all. Mark, what do you got?
Yeah. What have I got? Nice how the interviewer here brings the subject into present tense and present tense feeling rather than how were you feeling at that time, how are you feeling now, the interviewer asks. Yeah, it'd be nice if the subject had any feelings, but he doesn't have any feelings here. He's got no feelings. Certainly he isn't able to explain or talk about any of those feelings that he may have had at the time. Certainly not able to put them into a present tense. He just reiterates that he didn't want to do it. So he's back in motive, in actions, and will not go to feelings. Now, is that because he doesn't have feelings, or he wants to move away from feelings and into motive? Both could be a possibility. Probably both are a possibility. Why lure them? Says the interviewer. Now, I don't know what the subject says back. Can't tell what the subject is saying at all. In that, listen to it 10 times, have zero idea. Try to find a transcript, couldn't find one. So I don't know what he says. So this may be more helpful for you if you know what he says. But what I see on after what he says is lip compression, including the chin, come right in. Like what's that meme where they put, that dog doing that?
I'm afraid my dog has been involved in a sex scandal.
Yeah, basically he does that gesture exactly. He looks off. There's then some asymmetry in the mouth as well, which can mean all kinds of possible things. Not a good enough image for me to really see what's going on here, but enough asymmetry for me to go, something's going on, something's going on there, and there's a single shoulder shrug on top of that as well. I wish I knew what he was saying at that point, but I don't. So go in there, see what he's saying, and put down below what on earth he says at that point, and subscribe at the same time. That'd be fantastic.
You guys had all these detailed plans. You had all the cool stuff to make it happen. And it kind of falling apart. And he says, like, it goes going. I mean, did you kind of just freak out a little bit?
I didn't know, so it was like.
Yeah, dumb. But here's the thing. It's like, it's crazy because you guys worked together and made all these plans, and had it all figured out. And then when it happens, you're just kind of standing around doing anything. And did you decide like Robert's gonna kill everybody, and I'm gonna say nothing so I better? I mean, did you?
I didn't kill him. I couldn't do it. So that's why I told him. But kill everyone.
Yeah, you said that. I mean, I do. Well, what I'm saying is it's not Robert's the one that should get all the credit. I mean, that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
People are going to worry.
I don't want to be this.
Well, I'm just thinking, because you said the plans like you're supposed to kill this person, he's supposed to kill this person. Were you supposed to kill Christopher? Was he your responsibility?
No,
you just worked out that way.
This is responsibility. I was supposed to kill Dad. But he had already done that. Yeah. So now you're left standing there. So you tried to kill Christopher, you stabbed Dad, or you just gonna? I mean, I put myself in the neck. I think I might have hit his shoulder. That's the only thing.
So originally, your responsibility was Victoria
And Dad. Yes.
Did you guys cross specifics? Because you said cross. So you said, I mean, you guys claim like this is specifically how we do it.
Yeah, it was specific. I think he got trying to do something simple like that.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be a lot quicker, quieter. Did you say anything to Christopher?
I said
No. So you stabbed him. Now it's So I was like, how did you feel?
This whole thing, like feeling when you first start to get caught, I think last year about this. Yeah. But that was because it's 8 o'clock in the morning now.
So it's like 8 hours ago. So how do you feel now? Just kind of.
I don't even know that.
Yeah.
So you were saying you pleaded with I guess when they were locked in the bathroom and what they locked in?
Bathroom, they were right next to it, it's downstairs office, it's downstairs office.
Is it just working or the
No, right, two guys each other, right, like and then he was like, said, they wrote it on top.
Which one?
I'm in the just like stuff.
Okay. But in the middle, did Robert
went into the office, I guess, and he came back and started I left.
Okay.
So I guess I'm kind of confused because you didn't want this anymore, you didn't want this to go down this way. Why climb them to open the doors and let this continue?
I was kind of
All right, Chase, what do you got?
So he's in fight or flight during his recall, and when he's asked to process how he's feeling. His only concern, I think, here is protecting himself. The behaviors here are the same we see in all examples of fight or flight response. So it's not a huge difference there. Scott, what do you got?
All right, again, another example of the detective matching the emotion of the kid. And at the very end, the kid sighs, and he looks down, and the detective sighs the same way. So I thought that was brilliant what he's doing. He's doing exactly emotionally, from an emotional standpoint, what the kid's doing. So at the same time, the kid is looking at both the detective and the woman detective. And these are confirmation glances to make sure they're interconnected to see what they're thinking. Sort of check in, see how things are going. All right, Mark, what do you got?
So as we've been saying throughout, he's never at any point suggested he wasn't involved. He's trying to minimise the extent to which he's involved. I'm not entirely sure why. I think the interviewer asked him later on, does he think that'll be better for him if he was involved less in some way, the body count was less for him. But clearly it's something he wants to do. He says, I just told him three. I think the three is referring to the amount of people he may or may not have been involved with. And on that, we get a heavy breath out, we get a look away, so it's an eye block to some extent. We get this release of tension in the whole of the head, which then doesn't stabilise, so this kind of wobble at the end, and then he gives a look around as well. That could be another release of tension, but I think it's probably a threat check, possibly both, or a threat check excused as releasing tension. But certainly there's a big deviation from his usual nonchalant baseline on I just told him three. And this number being important. Look, this doesn't really tell you anything interesting or new about this case, but it does tell you to look out for clusters of very different behaviour, or one piece of very different behaviour around some specific item or specific word. And I think there's a really good clear. He has got this incredible baseline of apathy around the event. But on the number, how many he's involved with, plus or minus three, there's a big baseline change, and that's interesting. Chase, what do you got on this one? Or somebody else. Greg. I'll get there in there. Greg, what do you got on this one?
Last Mark.
I think so there. Chase agreed. You get to see some fight or flight here. And I think the genesis of that fight or flight is this cop that he is now bonded to is starting to poke and pride. So we see him his respiration rises up into his upper chest. And we see him blow out that CO2, those things we're talking about. He's also, I think, this is my opinion, that he's exhibiting some shame. When the guy asks a question, he tucks his chin and looks away, breaks eye contact, and checks back for confirmation of whatever he's doing, whether it's third confirmation. And he doesn't. The reason I point that out is because when the woman asks a question, that all disappears and he looks right at her when he's answering a question. So I think this guy's done such a good job of bonding to him that it's hard for him to look him in the eye and saying, I killed three. Which is very different than when he first came in the room, when he was happy to say, I did this, I did that, I did this. So when we're paying attention, this is what I love about this short clip is this is a great example of this detective sinking with this kid, regardless of whether he knows he's his opponent or not. These guys in his head to a place that this guy's feeling some remorse or some guilt for having to tell them stuff. I don't think he feels remorse for killing people. I think he doesn't want this guy to judge him, and that's masterful interrogation. That's all I got.
Good catch.
How about explaining this?
I'll explain that's. Let me tell you something. Here's somebody saw Spidey. He does it all the time, like he's on stage. He does this thing where he grabs he'll grab his thumb and somehow gets a hold of it. He does this and he pulls his thumb off and pulls it all the way into his hand. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. But after he does this thing, he grabs his thumb, he pulls it down, then pulls it back. I don't know how he does it.
Cool.
He does it all the time.
Voodoo magic.
Yeah, he loves it.
Did you say anything to Christopher? Nice. No. So you stabbed him. Now it's so how do you feel?
This whole thing, like feeling when you first started to take cock, I think last about this. Yeah. But that was because it's 8 o'clock in the morning now. So it's like 8 hours ago. So how do you feel now? Just kind of. I don't do that. Yeah.
So you're saying you pleaded with I guess when they were locked in the bathroom and what they were locked in?
Bathroom, they were right next to his office. Is it just working at the bathroom? No, right, two sides of each other, right, like this, and he was like, said it's all over, said, and they both knocked up.
Yeah, which room did you go?
I'm in the bathroom, just Okay.
But in the middle, did Robert
went into the office, I guess, and came into the bathroom, I left.
Okay.
So I guess what I'm kind of confused because you didn't want this anymore, you didn't want this to go down this way. Why climb the window and open the doors and let this continue?
I was trying to tell Robert.
So here's a problem that we might have, and I don't want it to be an issue for you because you've been cooperating. We're going to talk to Rob too. So he's going to see his version of the story, and sometimes they're going to be different. So is there anything that you kind of didn't quite tell me, Ryan, changed a little bit, and now that you understand that Robert's going to tell me everything?
Hopefully I'll tell you because that's why I told you go see now what is a conversation, friends with social media.
What three?
What you told me, so you told them you go through
Yeah, I told him because he asked me if you did. I said,
Did you tell you Bob?
No, just said to me.
So do you I guess this is my question. Do you think it's a lesser sentence if you killed one or you killed three?
No.
All right, Greg, what do you got?
So they do a good bait question, or we know if you're talking about shark for the same way. And I love. Is there anything? Is my note. Is there anything? If you're sitting in is there any reason? Is there? You should already know you're being set up. That is a setup. And in the intelligence side, we call that we know all. Hey, we know something you don't know. And we're going to see if you'll play with it. That's where we go. He also tries to do treating guilt. I'm going to tell you that I lied about how many people I killed to my brother. Although we know we killed one. He's already admitted I killed one person, one of my family members. But I lied to him about three. That's a trading thing I always talk about. Personal trials, losing about something else. There's throat protection, and I avoidance after I got three. And then that lip compression. Mark, when we're talking about dogs, my opinion is what he's doing here is that's resolution to the issue. He's just got to a point where I'm resolved to it. This is the way it is. And I think that's what we see. A lot of times these people like we saw Bill Clinton, we saw Wiener, we saw list the guys who was on that picture. They do that once they're busted. I think it's unresolved issues with that. Chase, what do you got?
One big thing here that I'll point out, this is not a dig on them at all, but you should never mention sentencing inside of an interrogation room as an interrogator. You should be talking about that puts somebody in what's called long-term thinking and consequential thinking. We want them in short-term impulsive mode. And that's our job as interrogators, is to keep them in short-term thinking. This facial touching is really this kid's tell for deception. He's done it several times, and each time he's done it, there's a proven lie that immediately follows this facial touching. And is anyone else? I don't know if y'all heard how he's pronouncing three here. He pronounces the word three different ways. And it's so hard to hear throughout this whole thing that I just skipped over a third of these videos because I couldn't understand them. Then there's deception here with describing the number to his brother's lip compression. There's this large inhale. There's a confirmation glance where he's checking to make sure that he's being believed. There's a giant head movement. Scott's getting up and leaving. There's exit checking. Then there's a second confirmation glance. So that's a huge. Besides Scott leading, that is a huge amount of deception indicators. Scott,
I'm sorry. I thought somebody was trying to get it. It was Daddy. Sorry. I couldn't. With these, I can't hear. I was like, what the? Couldn't tell. I'm so sorry.
No worries. What do you got?
Okay. This is where the kid's body really ramps up. He's got a lot of stuff going on here. Talking about he's got mouth going on, his breath rate grows up, he's goofing around his nose, he's rubbing his hands, his cadence speeds up, a couple of deep breaths. And this is all based around the question. And I think you're right, Chase. She sort of steps on it there a little bit. You know, I don't know what I couldn't figure out what the reason for that would be when she did that. But the detective's right there with him, matching his body language of stress, anxiety, and apprehension. Greg. All right, Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I've only got one thing on this, which is play the rest of you. Can't for the life of me hear what the kid's saying. Have zero idea. And so I was trying to work out, I was just checking my phone there, because I was trying to work out who it reminded me of. And then it came up. There's a Dick Tracy character called Mumbles. Yes. Yeah. And there's in the film of it, Dustin Hoffman plays him, just a brilliant job. So don't leave the show now because there's more to come. But after the show, once you subscribe, all the usual stuff, check out Mumbles from Dick Tracy. Very funny, very similar to the murderer that we have here. Let's have another video.
You know what's missing here? For interrogation purposes, what was missing here is emphasizing the truth and why this happened. I think they would have gotten really far just going along those two venues. Like we know what happened. We know. There's multiple people. We know it's a little more than you're saying. I want to figure out why first. Like what is the meaning behind all this? And start dragging that out. Drag that out of a 16-year-old. Get him to try to report back to the interrogator. I think that would have been fantastic. And keep in mind,
because he positioned why earlier on, which is it isn't society, it's about numbers. So they're kind of they've spent that ultimately. If that was the question they've got, they spent that question early on and suggested exactly what the motive was.
Yeah, I think they were working brother against brother at the same time too. They probably get feed. You know, hey, what do you need from me? What do you need from me? So I think you're right. Chase, you get a lot out of it. The other thing, I've read that there were cameras in the house associated with the alarm. So his father was an IT guy and had a whole bunch of stuff tied in. So he probably had all the evidence in the world. I agree with you. You could get more out of him if you ask why. But these guys have evidence. Did you any of you guys think he might have repeated that word 3 different ways because he's uncomfortable with how he speaks? Just because I wondered the same thing.
Could be. Yeah.
I just think he's that's part of deception. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's a problem that we might have, and I don't want it to be an issue for you because you've been cooperative. We're going to talk to her too. So he's going to say his version of the story, and sometimes they're going to be different. So is there anything that you kind of didn't quite tell me, Ryan, or you changed a little bit? And now that you understand the problem, tell me everything.
He'll probably tell you because that's why twice it's going to go see what it's make conversation.
What 3?
What you told him? So you told him you killed her?
I told him because he asked me. You did. I said it.
Did you tell him about?
No, just said to me.
So do you I guess this is my question. Do you think it's lesser sentence to kill 1 or you killed 3?
No.
I don't know. I think Robert, he may have. There's going to be a lot of differences. That's what I'm concerned about. And we don't want you to come off as a liar. Because you've been real cooperative. You seem like a good kid. You graduated high school early. You're designing games. There's all kinds of stuff you got on. And so I don't want people to get bad opinion, and think the type of guy that lies, leads, he's kind of caught. You know what I mean?